Hello, Internet! It's me, it's Tim Marsden, on the live Weekend Warlords Fly Casual stream. I'm joined by...
Ryan Sharp.
Ryan Sharp. You had to think then for a second, because he didn't know I was going to introduce him. He thought I might just say his name.
I just thought I might be able to say it and not say anything for the entire game.
So we are not joined by our ever vivacious... Is that a good adjective for him, do you think?
That's a good one for him,
Isn't it? Yeah.
And poppy.
Steve Theobald. He is not here. Thank you, Rich. Waving back. He is not here because his alter ego, the Cape, is live on our stream tonight.
He is.
He is. And we are joined by a returning Rasta Mace.
Who's that?
Some guy.
Some of them.
Never heard of him.
No. So, and Rasta is all smiles because he can fly his falcon.
Yeah, the Falcon's a bit good, isn't it?
It could be, but we don't know, and that's when X-Wing's exciting.
Are
But
we
it's
about to find
actually at least viable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, X-Wing is exciting when stuff looks viable and you have no idea whether it's good or not.
Oh yeah, the mystery, definitely.
Yeah, the mystery. As soon as you know, everyone's like, oh, change everything, ban this, ban that, errata this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for an aggressor to hit the table.
Because knowing is half the battle.
This is true.
That's true.
But which aggressor?
Yeah.
Any of them? I haven't seen anyone fly aggressor.
TIE aggressor you're on about.
Yeah, TIE aggressor.
Yeah, that won't happen.
No.
Don't hold any breath. Don't hold your breath.
It's sad though because I've got a soft spot for it.
I don't think we're actually going to tell you who the mystery voice is tonight. I think we might just leave the mystery voice on.
Yeah. See if anyone can guess who it is.
Well,
Evening, Captain Rex.
I'd be impressed.
Hello.
I'd be impressed if they get it.
Someone might know.
They may be.
They may be. Someone might know.
Yeah, join. So yeah, tonight we do have Steve the Cape Theobald versus Rasta Mace.
We do indeed.
And Steve is flying his favoured. No sound on the Twitch stream. What?
Can anyone else on Twitch
Okay,
confirm or deny?
We did have technical difficulties this evening. Someone has.
It's just Paul.
Yeah, Paul, unmute your TV.
Whatever you've done, Paul.
There we go.
Why would you make us panic in the studio like that?
I know.
Paul? Why would you? I bet the sound does work for him, and he's just pranking us,
he's
isn't
just
he?
winding us up.
He is.
We did have technical difficulties, which we're hoping that we've
got it going.
We've sorted out now.
The hamster's spinning the wheel again. It's all right.
Oh, I've done bad things.
What are you
Good
doing?
on
What
there.
are you doing?
I'm
What are you
fine.
doing?
All right. Why do I want that up anyway?
To see the chat.
Yeah, that's the one because it comes up on there, innit? Doesn't it?
Yeah, but we can't see much of it there.
Yeah. This is a glimpse into the technical side of Warlord streaming, in which I normally just sit there and people do stuff and the magic works, and I have no idea what it is.
So is this where the magic happens?
No, they ship the magic in.
Oh right,
It's manufactured overseas, and then
Evening, Gemma.
no.
We're not going to tell you
Don't
the
fish
mystery
for clues.
voices.
The mystery voices remain a mystery.
If you put a guess in, we'll say yes or no. How about that?
He could be the big whatever it is beast.
He is a clue, though. You've already given stuff away.
I said it.
Well, I'd really hope that they wouldn't get the confusion of gender from my voice.
Maybe.
So at this moment in time, they have rocks on the table and not much else is going on. We're all very, very excited about points changes here at Warlords, aren't we?
Yes, absolutely. I'm loving it.
I am.
I'm
So excited that tonight I have played 2 games with 6 ships and an upgrade card that didn't change points.
No, you see, your list didn't change at all. It's a cool list, though.
No, you don't have a picture yet because literally all you would be seeing is them placing rocks, Charles. So and they haven't even started that yet, to be honest. So we might send Mystery Voice to go and shout at them and let them know that we are live streaming. And that we might start the clock.
Was that a hint? Was that a hint?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a very big hint. So
subtle. I like it.
yeah. So I've. Well, we'll get it on. They literally have not started doing anything yet. So, no, it's not Steve with his throat infection.
They got all excited and started waving at the camera.
Cool, very good. So yeah, I've been flying 3 TIE fighters, 2 TIE interceptors, and a Sloan shuttle.
I can't believe all that fits.
And I've quite enjoyed it actually. It's very, very cool.
It's a horrible list. Oh,
I
Richie knows.
No, you know nothing. You know nothing.
You've been spotted.
Disappointed.
It's because you went out there.
Is it because I went out there?
It's because he left the booth and went out in the store.
Curses.
So what have you been flying since the point change, Ryan?
The same list as I was flying before.
Oh, with the cheaper Venny.
Well, no, Venny works out exactly the same.
Oh, if only I could wave
Because
back visually.
he has Trage Sim.
Hello.
Okay, so he went down in points, but Trage Sim went up.
Venny went down by 5, Perceptive went down by 2, and Trage Sim went up by 7. So it equals out exactly the same.
Okay. Yes. Fair enough.
I had to take Prime Thrusters off one of the A-wings, but that was it. And I was going to take it off anyway.
Fair
But the
enough
points
then.
change made me do it. So I wasn't that bothered.
Thank you very much for that, Death Rain. You flew Vinda on stream for me. Awesome. What loadout were you flying on Vinda? I'm excited to know.
I'm going to guess missiles.
I did fly Vinda
APT,
in one point.
surely.
I very, very enjoyed him, but that was with Palp. So
Oh,
Vinda's
yeah.
the one. I'm thinking of the right one or not.
Vinder's the one who can change Ranger's missiles, isn't he?
No, that's the.
Is that Ryman?
That's the bomber.
Which one's Vinder?
Vinda's the Alpha.
Vinder's the Alpha.
Oh,
With,
the Alpha, of course, the slamming Alpha with more defense
He gets
dice.
an extra defense dice. Yes. So I played him with Palp, with 1.8 Palp, and that was quite a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Because then you just got to slam around, and you had like 3-4 defense dice with Palp and Focus.
Yes.
So hello to everybody just tuning in. The guys
That pseudonym
seem
doesn't
to-
leave much to be.
No, it doesn't, does it?
There's not much to
So-
work out there, Miles.
I like it. It's subtle though. You know?
So no, nobody wants Upsilon's back.
Upsilon
No,
Cubed
nobody
is
wants
pretty.
Upsilon's back.
It's all right, isn't it, Tim? Some
It's-
guy flew it on the stream a couple of weeks ago.
It's
didn't they?
it is making big waves as well. So I think it won the Hyperspace qualifier at Phoenix
It's a genuine list.
that we just had. Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I'll let you into a secret. I already knew it was going to be pretty legitimate. I didn't know what build people were flying, but I already. In fact, it was the build that I flew.
Yeah.
That won. Yeah. So I didn't know what build people were necessarily taking. Oh, we have a turn 0, so we're going to transition and show you the game.
Cut to the game.
There we go.
Beautiful.
In a true Star Wars swipe.
Yeah, we got some
Stylish.
lists.
Good fade.
It was good fade.
It was good
Beautiful.
fade.
Proper Star Wars.
Yeah. We just need scrolling letters up
Yeah.
the middle.
That's
If
right.
we can get that going.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a
Raster is
thing.
indeed back in the building.
So there you go, Death Rain. You can now see the obstacles being placed on the table.
Which is obviously the most exciting part. of next
Raster is obviously trying to create that triangle of rocks because he has a falcon, and that's what they like to do.
Oh, yes.
And Steve's trying to put that one as far away from his Upsilon as possible. What do we think?
Yeah, good idea.
It is. No, I agree. I agree completely, Death Rain.
I think it's pretty irrelevant.
You would. No, I agree. I think that actually, this is where games are won and lost completely, is on how you place the rocks on the table.
I disagree.
You would.
For no reason other than I like to disagree.
Yeah. See, so for me, with the rocks, because of Raster having trick shot on both his ships, I would be looking to place them in a position where he isn't going to be using trick shot that often. One of the things I do is if my opponent has trick shot, seismic bombs, TIE fighters, the mining guild ties, any of the stuff,
Collision detectors.
blackout, collision detector, any of that stuff, the rocks go on your side of the board as far away from me as possible, and you will have to fly past them to engage me, and then that's
So
3 rocks
two by
out of the way.
2 by 2 in a corner, 1 in the middle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get them away. Dash.
Preferably
flying-
the bigger ones.
If you're flying dash, it depends it depends on what you've brought, what
So
kind
you've
of
got the
list
smaller ones in the
you've
middle, so
taken.
there's less chance
We've
of-
just seen those amazing dial covers from Raster on the dice cams.
Yeah, they're all right.
They're pretty awesome.
All right.
Yeah, that R2D2 is amazing. So it's looking
It is
like
very good.
the
It's-
R2.
It's hard to see on the stream how 3D that dial is,
Yep.
but it is very impressive.
Should we run through lists? I know people can read, but
Yeah, people can sort it out themselves. I'm not here to do that work
so
for them.
so Raster's playing.
Without Steve here, I'm going to be the argumentative one for this game.
Fair enough. So Raster's playing Han Solo, and he has Hotshot Gunner, and then he's got Leia crew and Lando crew. So both the crew that came down by a lot.
Yes.
In the points change. He's
Han
got
is a-
engine upgrade. I have no idea why engine upgrade came down in points.
Don't
No
ruin it, 'cause it'll
idea
go
why
back
engine
up.
upgrade
'Cause it's
came
rare.
down in points.
There's not many ships.
It
Only the
deserves to
Falcon
stay
uses
at
it.
9 points on the Falcon.
You reckon?
Large base boost is insane.
We
Bear
knew
in
this.
mind, it's now cheaper than 1.0. It's now 3.5
Oh,
points
yeah.
effectively instead of 4. It was half a point more
Tim,
before.
you're going to ruin it. They're going to put it back up. Shh.
Yep, and he's got a rig cargo chute in there for extra control, and then Wedge is basically flying the old Rebel Ace kind of loadout. So with trick shot, proton torpedoes, R2D2, and afterburners. So that Wedge is going to looking to come in, do a lot of damage, with its afterburners and proton torpedoes, and then it's going to bug out and regen whatever damage it took.
Yeah, wedge torpedoes is capable of one-shotting things.
Stay in your flank. So yeah, and Steve is playing a first order list with recoil, with marksmanship and proton rockets. So for those that don't know, can we bring him up anymore?
What?
I don't think we can we now?
What?
Bring up the cards.
Yeah, of course you can, Tim.
We'll bring up.
Which cards would you like, sir?
Oh, there we go. So if we bring up recoil.
Recoil, I've heard of it.
There we go. So recoil is while you're stressed, you may treat enemy ships in your front arc at range 0 to 1 as being in your bullseye arc. So yeah, he's going to be looking to use marksmanship or proton rockets at range 1. Boom. But it does give you quite an interesting choice, because if you come in at an angle such that you are in the bullseye arc anyway,
yes,
and then a barrel roll would take you to range 1, you aren't going to be avoiding that bullseye arc.
No.
So, or you could barrel roll out to range 3, which might mean you might miss the shot. You might not actually have a shot on recoil.
It does. It's yeah.
So it's interesting.
It does bring a lot of threat.
Yeah, I mean, it is cheap enough now. Now with the points have come down on silencers. Is that an interesting points value?
Yeah.
The only thing that's lacking for me is the initiative, I think.
Yeah,
the initiative 4 is...
For low initiatives to get bullseye is really hard, so I think his ability does solve that problem a little bit.
Yeah, but I think you have to invest in something like proton rockets. Otherwise, the threat just isn't viable.
Yes.
Like, there's just nothing to... You're not making them actually choose between anything.
For just
anyway.
marksmanship, it's not worth it, but with the rockets on board as well, it's a potent combo.
Hello, Pa, UK.
But it is only a one-shot.
Well, there's
you
the
only get
fist
one
bump.
charge on rockets.
You do, but it's a really
it's a heavy
big
hit.
shot.
Oh, yeah, but that 5 dice focus, he can get a coordinated target lock from Tabson. So the other thing that he's got going on, he's got Scorch with Fanatical and Muse with Fanatical, and you should probably see Muse hanging out by that shuttle.
Yeah,
and then
definitely.
what that means is that Tabson can do a 0, or he can do one of his hard turns, and then Muse can clear the stress, and then he's free to do the actions from shooting him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it also means his dial is completely open in the next round as well.
It's a really good combo.
So
Muse is a great escort
really
pilot.
Cool. So yeah, so he's got a 4-ship list. 3 of them have 3 attack dice as well, because he's got Scorch.
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
We should take a quick look at Scorch as well, because Scorch is a bit of an unusual one.
Yeah, Scorch is really good. Scorch.
Oh, I agree with you.
Yeah, Scorch, long shot.
A lot of the new FO pilots are quite tasty.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. They're good ships. Yeah. They're solid.
Because Scorch was in 1.0, wasn't it?
It's
Exactly
the same. Zeta leader is exactly the same.
Yeah. I love that art as well.
It also means you can sit Muse next to Scorch, and he can claim the stress off Scorch getting...
No, because Muse clears start engagement.
Yeah, you can't do it with Scorch. It's kind of a non-bow with Scorch.
Yeah.
Well, you could...
you can fly over
you can do it next turn before the engagement step, so he gets to shoot.
Okay. So next turn,
a Leia K turn there.
There we go. So Leia K turn, drop the extra debris on the table, and then he's going to stay on that side of the board around those rocks for a bit.
Yeah.
Nice. Now we've had a new article drop.
Have we?
Yeah.
Oh right.
And I haven't read it.
Have you not read it?
I have not read it.
Oh boy.
Would you like to play a game of Does Tim Like It?
Oh, I'll get my phone out then. I didn't even know you should
get it up on here.
This is for Ryan.
Oh, we've just been handed
is Mark going?
Corran Horn.
Yeah, Mark was borrowing it.
Because would you fly a different Ewing?
He was flying
maybe the
Corran and
generic's
Gavin.
pretty cool.
Really? I've heard not great things about it.
I mean, I don't know whether they're going to be good, but they're at that point now where you can take 3 of them and they could be interesting.
Yeah,
and you get proton
Mark was
torps
flying 2 of them with
pretty cool.
with thing.
Yeah.
See, I know very
yet to see.
little about Rebs and Resistance
because you, as a mystery person, only play
Scum Imperial.
Scum Imperial. A little bit of a clue to our mystery person's identity then. Just going to bring up the Protecting Peace article.
Have you not read this?
Yeah, but I didn't read it for this purpose, Rich. So we can play. Do I like it? And I can I can be opinionated on the internet.
Yeah.
Because who does that?
And then you can all shout at me and.
What about that?
Thingy. Well, the dial. We have a dial.
Yes.
Okay, we have a dial. Right. I'm not gonna. Should we read the dial? Should we mind knock it?
It's up to you.
Let's read a dial. We're going to read a dial.
It's quite important.
Yeah, so it has...
It's very Star Viper.
One hard's a white, one bank's a
Yeah.
blue. It has a 2 sloop, a 2 red sloop, I should probably specify. Shouldn't I?
Yeah.
2 white hard turn, a blue 2 bank, a blue 2 forward,
Yeah, it's no jump master.
a white 3 bank, a blue 3 forward, a white 4 forward, red 4k, white 5 forward, red 5k. So that's a pretty good dial.
Yeah, every forwards manoeuvre except the 1 straight and the 3 hard.
Yep, and so their ability is they can spend a force after they've completed a manoeuvre. They can do spend a force to boost or barrel roll. Is that right? Yep. So after they fully execute a manoeuvre, they can spend a force to boost or barrel roll. So actually, like,
And every pilot has the force.
yeah, and their lack of blue hard turns.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I
Well,
think
we'll
it
get into
explains what that does in the article, I think. So their lack of blue hard turns isn't actually that bad because they're going to be spending their force for their extra action rather than getting stressed for their extra action because there's no linked actions in that action bar.
No.
No.
No, the only way to do extra action is to spend the force and it doesn't get you stressed.
Yep.
So it's pretty good.
So while we're on the first card, should we do the first card?
Oh yeah, so it's just the generic.
So the Jedi Knight, I3, 2 attack, 3 agility, 3 hull, 3 shields, 1 force.
3 shields.
1 shield.
Yeah, 1 shield, 1 force.
Yeah, and it's got white focus, purple evade, white target lock, white barrel roll, white boost.
But what does the purple evade mean, Tim?
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
I literally have no
So,
idea. I know it's in the article, but I do not know.
Someone
So
does
to
know.
perform the evade action, you must spend
A
a
force.
force
Okay.
to perform purple action. Costs you a force token.
And so it just takes your normal action,
Yes.
but you have to spend.
But you have to spend an additional.
Spend a force. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Is
you perform the action and spend a force token to get an evade.
Is
token.
that going to kind of get in the way of their ability then?
Yeah.
Because you're going to have to make,
will on the
you're gonna have to
Jedi
make a serious
Yep.
choice there.
Yeah.
It
The
will. on
Jedi Knights
Knight.
spend a force charge performing a new
Definitely.
purple
I mean,
evade action.
I'd imagine that the actual upper ranks of the Jedi are going to have much more force to play around with. Though.
Well, we'll get onto that. So the generic just has 1 force and is I3.
Yeah. So the generic, I don't like it.
You don't like it
I don't like it. I think it's going to be priced very expensively
because it's got the force.
because it's I3. It's got a force point. It's got
A good dial.
It's got like a good dial, great action bar. That ability is brilliant. It is. I mean, I think you're going to be looking at maybe Inquisitor. Actually, to be honest, it might be the same price as an Inquisitor,
Well, I was about to say, how many generic Inquisitors do you see?
which is none.
Ex-
So,
yeah.
so I don't like it.
You don't like it.
No, it would
So
have
it's-
to be.
it's a
Very, it'd have to be
thumbs
very-
down for the
No, well,
generic Jedi
It'd have
Knight.
to be cheap.
Yeah, so it's got to cost, but you're not convinced of the power of it.
2 out the front as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well-
yeah, for 2 red.
For 2,
Well, we'll
2
get
out
on
the
to
front.
that.
No, I know.
They can
I
change
know
that.
card exists, but
Yeah,
we'll,
that was
Oh,
that was
okay.
a previous article.
yeah,
So, should we move on to our first unique
yeah.
pilot?
Go on then.
I don't know if you've heard of Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Yeah.
but he is a guardian of the Republic.
Oh, good for him.
Indeed. And his pilot ability is after a friendly ship at range 0 to 2 spends a focus token, you may spend 1 force token. If you do, that ship gains 1 focus token.
I like it.
And he's got 3 force tokens to do that with,
Yeah,
because he's quite a good Jedi.
He is quite a good Jedi. I like
As
it.
Jedi go, Obi-Wan is pretty good.
Yep.
He's alright.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I really like
So
it.
I5, 3 force, the ability to say, oh well, Anakin shoots at I6, spends his focus on attack, and then gets a focus for defense. That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
Really
really,
good
good.
combo.
And he can do it to himself as well, can't he?
Yes, range 0.
But what
So
about-
it does work.
Which is brilliant. So
If
he can
we-
spend focus on his own attack and then get 1 back for defense
Yes.
straight away. Yeah, I think Obi-Wan's really
But
good.
if we talk
really
about,
like Obi-Wan.
you were saying about the first ship, the generic, it might
Yep.
be overpointed. Well, not overpointed,
Yep.
but quite expensive.
Yep.
Do you think that Obi-Wan's going to be likewise quite expensive for what
Yeah,
you get?
probably. But on an i5 chassis with triple actions, that's pretty good.
Yes.
On as
I mean-
an i3, where it's neither a blocker nor an ace, you're investing a lot in
Into not
2
a lot.
attack dice. Yeah. No, I don't like
Your output's going to be
Yeah.
lesser than it should be for that. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm being slightly coloured because there's the configuration, isn't there, for the
Yes, there is
for
a configuration
the Jedi Starfighter,
which increases your attack.
which I think, to be honest,
That comes with some penalties.
it does, but I think you're going to see that a lot.
Yeah, depends how much it costs, because it
True.
will cost a bit. Because
Is that-
you essentially go from being an A-wing to an X-wing, which in the normal game costs about 10 points.
Sorry,
But-
so we've got some comments in chat.
Should we catch up with chat?
But I mean, it's just that 2 out the front
On the left.
is making me really twitchy.
So Kay says, I'm really looking forward to the Republic versus Republic games where people are just desperately putting as many pegs as they can find under their Obi-Wan, so they have the high ground. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. But also, and Clone 1205 says actually it's worth it if you're trying to keep Obi-Wan alive again. So you can spend it on defense and then have it back again.
Anytime he spends anytime the
Yeah,
ship at range
yeah.
02 spends a focus token, he can.
Yeah,
he can
Obi-Wan's
reuse
really
his
good.
ability.
Obi-Wan's really good. I really like Obi-Wan a lot. I can't find my mouse cursor now. It's probably on the other screen, isn't it? I'm being an old man on the internet and with a computer. I'm back. I found
I'm
it.
not sure we
We're all
can
good.
computer.
No, I don't think you can.
Who's next?
Plo Koon. We got there in the end.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah.
Plo Koon,
Yeah.
the Serene
He's
Mentor.
a serene mentor. I5!
He is I5 as well.
Everybody's I5.
Jedi's pretty good.
2 Force.
Yeah, 2 Force. Not quite as good as Obi-Wan.
So Jedi's with dreadlocks, they have less force, right?
He's not
That's
the one with
what-
dreadlocks. He's the one with the mask on
he
his
has
face.
the breather mask, doesn't he?
The one with dreadlocks is Kit Fisto.
Kit Fisto, of course it is. All right, well, we'll see. I'm sure Kit
Yeah.
Fisto will be a pilot.
Claims to be a Star Wars
card!
nerd. Come on.
Star Wars card is being handed in. So Plo Koon is
Oh,
I5,
dear.
and he is at the start of the engagement phase. You may spend a force and choose another friendly ship at range 0 to 2. If you do, you may transfer 1 green token to it, or transfer 1 orange token from it to yourself. Right? Okay. So at the start of the engagement phase, you can spend a force, choose another friendly ship at range 0 to 2, and then you transfer 1 of your green tokens to it, or 1 of its orange tokens to you. So what are orange tokens? Tracked beams, jam.
Weapons reload.
Yeah, weapons disabled.
Yes.
Ooh, that's interesting because they have astromechs.
Yes.
So
So someone else could regenerate a shield.
So you could have Obi-Wan, who's like saying, well, I have 3 dice plus focus against all of your attacks. And then he regenerates a shield, and then you take the weapons disabled on Plo Koon.
Yes, you could.
That's
So he's going to be
interesting.
sitting a little bit back though, isn't he? Because he's 0 to 2, so you set him a bit back.
I don't think you're going to see that, but you could do that.
Yeah.
There's
a bit of Jack there, isn't there?
Don't like it. I think in a vacuum, I don't like it.
Yeah, you'd have to be convinced on the table, I think, about that.
I think you are spending 2 force to pass an evade.
Yeah,
It's not cool.
because you spend a force to take the evade, spend a force to pass it.
Yeah, I think they've learnt their lesson with Manaru.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
You know, you are not taking this guy, passing a token wherever you want to, whenever you want to. You know, you have to pay a steep cost if you want to pass a
Yes.
token with this guy. So, you know, I mean, it could be interesting where you potentially Obi-Wan and you boost barrel roll to get out of arc, and then Plo sends him a focus token that he then uses his ability on. That's
Yes.
interesting. So that's not too
There's
bad.
an option.
And your I5, so you know you
Just
can
an I5 with the
potentially-
force.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. I think that's good enough.
It might be an ability you'd largely ignore.
I mean,
'Cause-
however, my counter argument would be, do you see Tally very often?
Well, I was about to say, Tally is another one. I use Tally a lot.
Yeah.
Just 'cause she's
Outside of your
I5.
list, do you see Tally a lot?
I think you only take Tally if you've already got Lulo.
Yes, and I think that'll probably be the same for Plo Koon and
Yeah, I know.
Obi-Wan. I think you're going to see, unless there's a drastic difference in points, like you're only going to see Plo Koon if
Yes.
you've already got Obi-Wan.
I think that's a good point.
No idea. Absolutely. On the torrent,
We've not even got to the torrent.
no idea. Oh, is that spoiled in this as well?
It is, yeah.
Ooh,
The whole box.
exciting.
With these here,
Yeah, the Jedi Starfighter.
with Plo Koon, is that essentially going to be about the only way they can get a kind of like a pseudo coordinate?
May well
no,
be.
Much that you're passing tokens around to try and get the
there's
extra actions out of everybody else.
There's a Palpatine crew card, isn't there? That's got
Oh,
purple
yeah.
in Republic.
There
Oh
is.
right,
Yeah.
so it'll be Senator Palpatine as opposed to
It's both, I think. So I think
It has two sides
Rumor
to
is
it.
it's a flip card.
It is,
Yeah, because
yeah.
we've shown two different crew members. So one is called Senator Palpatine, and the other one is called Darth Sidious.
Right.
And when you look at the text, you kind of it hits that it says flip it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it looks like you do something and then you flip it over to you reveal yourself to be Darth Sidious, and you get some stuff. So,
Do you
but that
reckon-
has purple coordinate.
Do you reckon that they
Um,
might do something similar with Anakin?
Maybe no, I doubt it.
Or like
I'd
have
be
a dual-
surprised.
Or be a dual faction pilot.
Yeah. One of my favourite things about Anakin is that in every preview article they've had him in is in someone's bullseye arc, and I think that is the most Anakin thing
Yeah.
ever. He's like, am I 6 with double reposition? But I'm just going to sit in this bullseye arc and let your ability go off.
Yeah.
And you can just see Obi-Wan shaking his head and cursing him.
Yeah.
it's like, why would you do that?
I think you should
So-
just do a barrel roll because that's quite a neat trick.
They are jousting
Yeah.
around the edges. I think that Steve's
we're
got to
ignoring
be,
those two.
well, Steve's got to be very careful here because he's going to bank into that channel between the rocks, which leaves Rasta free to just turn behind him.
The rig cargo cuts a lot off, doesn't it?
It did, yeah. So I mean, there's absolutely no way that that Steve could turn back into the other side of those asteroids.
No.
And Steve's missed a massive trick. He really should have hard turned before that first rock.
You think?
Yeah, because like look where the Falcon is.
There you go, Steve. When you watch your back, you're rubbish.
So
Brutal.
savage.
Tim doesn't like your positioning.
I'll go with that, but I wouldn't say Steve was rubbish. So yeah, so Steve's going to bank into that channel, and then he can't hard turn without going through those rocks, basically.
Just go through the rocks then.
Yeah, I mean,
Rasta will never expect it.
he could go straight and then do what? Like K-turn and carry on the shuttle into obscurity. Like Tabson will never do anything again if he goes past that rock at the top. I just suppose he could hard to it, and then yeah. I mean, but Rasta's going to keep doing this. He's going to keep circling those rocks until Steve. He's always going to have the rocks between him and Steve's list now. Until Steve makes a mistake.
Steve doesn't make mistakes.
A lot of people do when they get frustrated.
Hashtag put it where you want.
I don't,
Yeah.
I don't even need to be frustrated. I just
So Sacy Tin, he's my favourite. They're my favourite Jedi
Okay.
out of all the Jedis. They
Fair
are my
enough.
favourite. I don't know who are they.
Oh.
Sacy Tin.
It's coordinating a boost.
Yep. Ooh, interesting.
That guy's going to go fast.
Yes, we're going to try and catch Wedge.
He's going to launch. He's boosted. He's done a bank boost into a 5 forwards and launched it at Wedge.
I like it. He's going to take a target lock on Wedge.
Oh yeah.
So Sacin is I4, is a prophetic pilot, and so after a friendly ship at range 0 to 2 reveals its dial, you may spend 1 force. If you do, set its dial to another manoeuvre of the same speed and difficulty.
And he has 2 force and can do it twice in a round.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. So,
There's a bit of a limitation because there's a lot of maneuvers you can't set it to.
so you can,
But
yeah, so you
Pretty
can, what? So you can change a bank to the other direction.
yeah, it's a bit like Slave 1, isn't it? You're going to change the opposite direction.
Oh, okay, and
For the same-
difficulty.
yeah.
So that's interesting. So you can
It's-
do
it's quite narrow.
like a 2 forward into 2 banks, or you can do 3 bank into a 3 bank, or the 2 hard into a different 2 hard.
Depending on your dial, yeah.
It's interesting. I think where you might.
But it's any friendly ship, so it can affect different dials. So the value will be different depending on the dial you're using.
Yeah, I mean, but I can't see you using this guy with arcs. Arcs aren't really equipped for dodging arcs, and
Maybe not.
you know. So I think where you're going to see him is in a list with 2 other
Aethers.
interceptors. Yeah, ether sprites. So maybe I don't
Yeah.
like it.
You don't like it.
I don't like it, but
Are you,
might
are
see
you saying
play.
you should just set your dials properly the first time?
there's that. But then that's really hard to do, and sometimes, yeah. I mean, there's are those situations. You know, I suppose it lets you run away. Like if you want to turn your Obi-Wan in, and they go, "Ha! I have all my guns here," and then your Obi-Wan goes, "No, I turn out and I boost and barrel roll and I'm gone."
Yeah.
Yes.
Han's ability does affect
yes,
Lando.
Yes, Death Rain. Han's ability does affect.
It's whenever you
Lando.
roll dice.
Yeah. So should we move on from Sacy?
Yeah,
He's
move on
got
to
a bit of a big meh.
big method.
Until we see points. Oh, my favourite card from the pack.
Really?
No, it's terrible. Brilliant evasion. So while you defend, if you are not in the attacker's bullseye arc, you may spend a force to change 2 of your eyeball results to evade results.
I think it's alright if you've got 3 agility.
Don't like it. No.
Why not?
No. Because the odds of it actually triggering are. I'm not going to tell you what they are because I've forgotten. I haven't
On 3 dice?
memorised and I can't remember.
Is it not even that likely on 3 dice?
No, because you've got to roll 2 eyeballs. So this thing better cost 1 point. Bear in mind it's a force slot as well.
Fair enough. But my other point is, what if you're Vader? Then
Right.
what other force ability do you
No,
take instead?
yeah, but so heroic.
Certain pilots.
Okay, like that. I like it. I don't like it. Is very binary.
Yeah.
Like so actually, I like cards like this for design. And heroic, I'm really enjoying heroic because
It's a passive modification that's low power.
and it occupies that space where you're like, do I take it?
Yeah.
Do I not take it? You know, it's a point. Maybe I don't know. Like, so not being in a bullseye arc with a large ship.
It's tough.
Not being in their bullseye arc's really easy.
What with
With a
a
large
Sarge?
base ship.
Oh no, not if you're a Sarge. No, forget it. So,
So-
no, but if you're like a Vader,
Yeah.
or
I think
an Anakin,
Luke might take this.
Luke's the one person I wouldn't bother with.
You might, if it's a point,
Yeah, but
you might as well.
with Luke, you just spend 2 force and get him back.
Yeah, but you could spend 1 and not have to. But it's only a point. Like I think.
Well, we were presuming it's.
I'm presuming it's a point. If it was a point, I would consider playing this. But
Anything more?
but only if, like, say, I wasn't already taking hate on Vader or something like that. If
Yeah.
there wasn't a force talent, a force power,
Better suited.
yeah, better suited.
So it
but
wouldn't-
1 point it would operate. I think any more than that, I'm
Almost kind of like old school trick shot.
Not interested.
Whereas I've just got a spare point.
Yeah, fair.
Have a talent for it.
Yeah, but that's good. Which, like you were saying, it's like it's a passive. Well, I mean, this isn't even a passive mod. You've got to
Yeah.
you've got to
But heroic, yeah, something heroic is passive modification. It's low power.
yeah. So no, we'll move on from that.
Not
'cause
like
I
a
don't- I don't
guidance
like
chips turn a die to a crit.
See,
For
the other
free.
thing is.
No, it isn't the 0 point guidance chips. Let's put it that way.
Also, on A for sprites, you're going to be wanting to probably spend the force on other things like their ability or evading.
or the extra actions.
The thing I
or-
like is
yeah.
just the potential to avoid
just
burning
that-
through your force.
It's
Sorry.
The potential to avoid burning through your force is the only reason I like it. Because
Yes,
unless you're Luke,
but then it's
and
only
then
if
I know it's unlikely to proc.
you're not in bullseye and only if you're all double eyeball.
Yeah, but not being in bullseye is easy for certain ships.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean the thing is though is that say if you're an I5 or an I6 pilot
Yeah,
of one of the Jedi Starfighters or a Force user, you should just be out of their arc anyway.
fair.
Like
I'll shut up then, Tim.
no, but that's not what I mean.
No, that's a very good counterpoint.
you'd also never put it on Obi-Wan.
Sorry.
Why not?
Obi-Wan. Because if he's got the focus,
Yeah, you might
have to
just
spend one.
You just spend the focus to
and
modify 2.
Modify
and then
2
get
and
your
spend
focus
it back.
Yeah.
So it's only going to see.
So it's the same on
It's
Obi-Wan.
not even as if
I'm
it's
going to
to
fight on Obi-Wan anyway.
I'll show you.
Yeah.
No, and you couldn't put it on Anakin because he'll always be in bullseye arcs.
Oh yeah,
That's what
because
the
the
articles told us. So
Yeah.
so no. Right, okay. No, we don't like that one. Another I5 pilot. Hooray! Mace Windu is I5. So if you hadn't guessed, the Ether Sprites are looking at I5 pilots with a beard.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he is a harsh traditionalist, and after he fully executes a red maneuver, recover 1 force.
Quite like that.
I like it. I don't think you're going to see Plo Koon.
What you think you'll see? What if you could have a list of Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Mace Windu?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you probably would.
That'd be cool, yeah. I'm saying you definitely would never see Plo Koon.
I'm going to fly Plo Koon.
No!
Because what have we got? We've got 2 sloops,
Curse.
4K, 5K.
Yeah. Yeah, really good.
There's.
So
I'm
There
gonna
might
there.
be even a situation where you're going, come on, damaged engine. Come on, damage engine.
Yeah, just to get more force.
Yeah. So
I'm going to make a list: Plo Koon, Seisin, and generic.
Yeah, I mean that's really. I mean, one of the best things about Force is that it's a passive mod. So when we're
Oh,
talking
it's
about
brilliant.
passive mods, we're saying it doesn't cost you anything to trigger it. So
No.
you can modify your dice without spending an action, without having to take a negative cost, anything. So Force is really good because it lets you modify your defense or attack dice. At no cost, basically. You just have to have it. It just has to exist.
Yeah.
And they're very rare in 2.0. Oh, he's going to drop another one.
He's only got one, hasn't he?
Oh, does it only come with one?
He only comes with one.
Okay. So, there you go. He's keeping that wall between him and the FO
Yeah, he
force.
popped layer again.
Yeah. So yeah, Mace is awesome. So you just zip about with a mace, and then he can do the.
He makes the red maneuvers more forgiving.
Well, he gets 2 force back. It's like you took a focus.
Yeah, exactly.
Like anytime you can
thing.
get like 2 calculate, it's as good as a focus.
Yeah.
It's a little bit better.
He makes that red maneuver a less difficult compromise.
Yeah. Yeah,
Which
you
is
can
really
K
cool.
turn in and slooping with this guy, no problem.
Yeah.
If you're doing a lot of Ks, you're going to be stressed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Would brilliant evasion on him be more sensible because you'd be able to spend?
If it's a point, maybe.
Yeah, because you'd be able to spend the spend the force to
Yep.
change eyeballs.
Yeah,
into evade.
if it's
because he's
cheap,
going to be getting.
if it's cheap
the
enough to
back
play,
easy.
yeah.
You don't have to action.
It's not.
It's not
So,
terrible.
It's a bad card, in that it will hardly ever. It's like heroic, it'll hardly ever proc for you. When it does, it's not that big a deal. Like you said, just spend 2 force anyway. Like on this guy,
Only
just
if you're
spend 2
looped.
force, do a red, get it back. But if it's cheap enough, then it's worth considering because you aren't jeopardising a lot of other force powers. With
Well, Supernatural's been
Supernatural
priced
going
in.
up. Yeah, definitely. But no, I like Mace. Mace is cool. He's also got a cool design on his Jedi Starfighter.
Yeah, the artwork is
I like that
beautiful.
actually. Yeah, the artwork on all of these guys is amazing. So I'm not sure if
Thumbs
we've
up for
I'm not sure if
Mace.
we've had any combat in this game, have we?
Oh, Recoil's getting hurt.
Did Recoil shoot at?
Engine's gone.
Okay. Did Recoil shoot at Wedge and do nothing? Oh, he took a shield.
Took shield, and then he'll just have to do it back.
Calibrated laser targeting.
Yes.
So it is a configuration and a modification on the Ether Sprite. While you
Yes.
perform a primary attack, if the defender is in your bullseye arc, add a focus result.
So this is where you're sneaking in 3 attack dice. And if you're Obi-Wan,
Yep.
I can see it.
I don't like it.
It's more dice, Tim.
I don't like it.
Why
It's very
primary attack
Venny.
if the defender is in
Sorry?
your-
It's very Venny adding
It is, but
So I like
so I've
it.
been playing a bit of.
Tim?
I've been playing a bit of Poe with heavy laser cannon, and you don't get that many bullseye shots throughout the game. Technical difficulties.
You're losing the plot, man.
Yeah, so you don't get that many bullseye shots over the course of a game.
Just play better.
Yes, okay. All right,
There you
then.
go, so
Take
you
it.
fixed it.
I like it.
It's a great
Fixed
card.
it.
You're just
No,
going to
no,
play well
no.
to use it.
However,
Is a mod as well though.
yeah, it does take up 2 slots,
slots,
which is
and
heavy.
I think the other configuration is better.
Controversial.
I know, but we'll see. So
we
moving on.
Oh,
Kickback.
We're going to move on now to
He's
the
an
Torrent
I4,
Starfighter.
blue 4. After you perform a barrel roll, sorry, should we go through the?
Go for the chassis.
Let's do it. Okay. So it
the
has
top.
white focus, white evade, white target lock, white barrel roll into red evade, which is so much better than the force one. White barrel roll into red evade is so much better than spending your force
Yes.
and your action.
But
Yeah.
Kickback has another
So-
action as well.
So they have 2 attack, 2 agility, 5 hull.
Very quadrumper of them.
Yeah, very, very, very quadrumper.
Even the barrel evading.
Someone asked about how many points these are going to be. 30 something.
Base size?
About quadrumper.
Small.
I think they're a bit cheaper.
So I think they're
than
going to be like maybe
quadrumper.
35,
Yeah.
36-ish.
What's the dial like?
They're a bit like a TIE bomber, aren't they? They're not quite TIE bomber levels, but they potentially have a better dial and a better action bar.
Maybe. Yeah.
So-
30 to 35 for a basic one, I think.
Yeah, I think around that point. So they're not going to be as much as an X-wing. They're not going to be that kind of that workhorse style list, and it depends what slots they've got and stuff like that. So
Yes.
So after you perform a barrel roll action, you may perform a red target lock action. So you can barrel roll red target lock evade.
No.
Why?
Because one of the red actions stops you doing the other one.
But yes, because it's a red target.
But
lock
your
action.
barrel roll links to evade or target lock.
Yeah, you're right.
You've got options on the barrel.
Okay.
roll,
Yeah.
You can't do 3 actions in a turn, Tim. Sorry.
No, boo.
Gutted
Do you
for
not like it now?
Boo. I don't think I like it anyway, to be honest. Yeah, I think it depends. I mean, if these things are going to be carrying torpedoes, so if they are like a TIE bomber and they're going to be carrying torpedoes, then fine. You
I
know,
think their dial could make a break.
yeah, definitely. I mean, just every
Well, the
ship.
dial's in the article.
Yeah, but I think
Yeah.
with
Should
that,
we go to the dial? Yeah, it's,
Is
it's,
it?
it's the same as it's in the
Ooh,
same.
Let's go and have a look then.
It's one
because
of the
with
big
that
pictures.
stat line,
Go down.
Get in.
get in.
Get down.
Let's have a look.
Get down.
Okay, right, yeah, so we're here. So he
Ooh.
has red 1 hards, blue 1 banks, blue 1 forward, 2 red talon roll, white 2 hard, white 2 bank, blue 2 forward, red 3 bank. So it is very much like a bomber then. Yeah. So blue 3 forward, blue 3k, white 4 forward.
Blue 3K.
No, red 3k.
Now you see, I want to point
Talking
out
is
something.
hard.
If you're say Tin, you can
Yeah.
change that 3 bank to a 3K.
Or yeah,
That's
it.
pretty cool.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Changing a 3 bank to a 3K turn. That's cool.
Is that just on principle or just?
Yeah. I like it.
Not convinced.
Not convinced.
So who are we talking about? I've got Kickback.
Kickback.
So the clones are all getting funky, like the FA.
They all have nicknames,
They're all
don't
getting
they?
nicknames. Yeah.
Blue
So
four.
Kickback.
But they do that in the show.
I don't know. It depends on what upgrade slots it's got.
Well, some of that's discussed in the article. It's got
Well, it's
missiles.
going to be missiles
we
at
know
least, if not
that.
torps.
The missiles aren't as good as torps. So if it has torps, then I like
That
it.
is offensive.
Can equip missiles,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also correct. Though,
and
isn't
that's it.
Well, I don't know. Home missiles pretty good. It's 4 dice attack, Tim.
Or one.
No, it's not.
This is.
No, it's not.
Home missiles is a 4 dice attack, range 2 to 3, same as proton torpedoes. What's your problem?
No.
And they are 7 points cheaper.
Damn. Proton torpedoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have a proton torpedo any day of the week. Right, so Oddball, he's an I5
I've tried,
in the
guys.
Torrent. After you execute a red maneuver or perform a red action, if there is an enemy ship in your bullseye arc, you may acquire a lock on that ship.
So he can barrel roll, evade, target lock.
If you're an enemy ship
And
in
he's
your bullseye.
I5, Tim.
In
Do
your
you like
bullseye.
it? Come on, barrel roll, evade, target lock. That's a pretty good combo.
Yeah, no, maybe. Yeah, I like it. I don't know. I'm pretty
on.
skeptical. No, I don't like it. I'm gonna have to be
Oh,
honest.
Tim!
I don't like it. So the yeah, you can barrel roll, evade, and set up that bullseye and get a target lock on the ship. Again, if they haven't got torpedoes, you're going through a lot of effort to shoot what?
But it's cool.
Concussion missiles?
Oh, yes.
Is that what they're called? Are they even
Yeah.
called that still?
They expose damage cards. That's as
terrible.
good as firing a proton torpedo with a crit. You just
It's
expose damage
not,
cards.
because they have to have the damage first.
No, they don't. You hit and land damage, it turns over, doesn't it?
No.
Oh, that's
No.
rubbish.
Missiles are not as good as torps.
I think home missiles are the best missiles.
That's like being the. No, I had an example.
It's
then.
4 dice, Tim,
It's
for
like being the
5
tallest
points.
dwarf.
4 dice shot.
Swoop! Right.
Yeah, I really like swoop.
I3, blue 6. So swoop is after a friendly small or medium ship fully executes a speed 3 to 4 maneuver. If it is in at range 0 to 1, it may perform a red action.
Red
So
boost action.
Yeah, that too. So reading is really difficult.
Yeah,
It is
you're
really
struggling.
difficult. So after a friendly small or medium ship fully executes
They
a
even put it in
speed
pictures for you.
3 to 4 maneuver, if it is range, what's that number?
0 to 1.
0 to 1, thank
Is
you.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah, 0 to 1.
it may perform a red boost action. So you get afterburners on your ships.
Yeah. Arcs with afterburners, baby.
If they're
Look at
next
it,
to that.
beautiful.
Okay, yeah. So on your arcs, that's interesting. It's not so good for the Jedi starfighters, though, is it?
You'll
'Cause
skip
it-
your perform action step because you'll be
Yeah,
stressed on the
because
boost.
you'll be stressed.
But it's a boost on ships that can't normally boost.
That's very
And
true.
how often do you get to do that?
That's very true.
Because you can't put afterburners on an
I
arc.
like it.
Just because it's funny.
I like it because it does give other ships access to the boost action when they don't normally have it.
Yes.
There may be some way to remove the stress, but we haven't seen or don't know, or
Maybe.
maybe not. I don't know. So all veiled. The future is clouded and veiled. Is it? Whatever.
So you're telling me you don't know if you like
I don't
it
know
or...
the Star Wars quote. No, I do like it. Yeah. Do we know what's happening in the game, by the way?
Nice.
Rico's
Good night,
still alive.
Jude.
Night, Jude.
Keep on being awesome. Good night.
Apparently Wedge's serve motor S4s have fallen off. But we'll
Well,
worry about
I
that
think
later.
Wedge did a white 3 Talon roll the turn before and then torpedoed recoil, and now he's done a Talon roll again.
Yeah, Talon roll into Talon roll is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
I'll give him that.
And Afterburner's boosted as well, I think.
Because
Oh,
why
my
wouldn't you?
word. Oh.
So now he is behind.
Rasta's back, everybody.
Yeah, Rasta's back. Right, what have we got left in this article then? Axe. This is if you can't afford the Torrent Pyre links. Don't know if people will get that joke.
Axe is the American version of links.
Yeah,
But you only spell it with an AX, not an E.
fair enough.
Just saying.
Just explain it
I
for the
know.
stream, that's fine. So
I
after you
know.
defend or perform an attack, you may choose a friendly ship at range 1 to 2 in your side arcs. If you do, transfer 1 green token to that ship. I like it.
I'm just
I
not,
like it.
really
I'm just not a fan of transferring tokens.
Well, so you focus
Oh, no,
up.
but
If you don't
Garvin's
spend
really
it,
good. It's Garvin light.
it's reversed to Garvin. It's if you don't spend it, give it to somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Garvin light.
Yeah. So you focus up.
That's what I said.
In fact, his initiative's a little bit low for me.
He can pass evades though.
Yeah, I mean, so what you
Juicy
could.
evades.
Yeah, his initiative's a little bit low.
And it doesn't cost him force to do it.
No, it doesn't. But what I was thinking was, like, you could potentially have shot first with him and then given, like, one of your Jedis the token.
We'll just bring the I3 Jedis then, because he can shoot before the I3 Jedis.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's my new list.
That is bad. But
Got a new list, guys.
But yeah, I like it. That's the type of shenanigans that have potential, because it's a bit like coordinate, isn't it? You know, you're giving another ship 2 actions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the initiative is very limited. So Tucker in the blue 5. So he's I2. After a friendly ship at range 1 to 2 performs an attack against an enemy ship in your front arc, you may perform a focus action.
Why wouldn't you like
I
it?
like it.
Yeah, more actions. It's handgun.
That is amazing.
It's handgunner for no stress.
Yeah.
All we have to do is have
Yep.
arc at I2.
Yes, I think it is. Paul says, is Steve trying to beat Rasta using only recoil?
Yeah, why wouldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's managed to find a path through the rocks now.
Well, he's just
And now
stomped
gonna-
over it.
He had to.
Yeah.
He had to. I mean, I bet Steve's wishing that other tie was long shot at this point. But
Yeah, but long shot's too meta, isn't he?
no, he's playing Scorch instead. Scorch is
Yeah.
better than long shot, but I think
Is
long
he?
shot's pretty
That's
I quite like
contentious.
long
good. Well, Scorch is long shot. It just triggers at every range.
But it takes stress.
And
Yeah, but long shot doesn't gain stress, does it?
no, but their dial is amazing.
It's alright.
So Wedge is going to get a shield back.
I would assume so. More shields, more good, Tim.
More shields, more good. More shields and better. Yep. Next card.
Just
The Blue
generics.
Squadron Protector at I3. Okay, cool. And the Gold Squadron Trooper at I3. Shooting! What I can only assume is missiles.
Homing missiles.
Torpedoes. I'm going to assume
customs.
it can shoot 6 torpedoes in a round.
Right.
That's its
Tim.
ability. It's got an upgrade card that says fire 6 torpedoes out of your Gold Squadron Trooper.
Homing missiles are the ones,
why
Tim,
wouldn't
I'm
you?
telling you.
They've gone up to 5 points though.
4 dice, range 2
No.
to 3 for 5
No.
points.
No.
It's great.
I see through the lies of the Jedi. That's it then.
So on balance,
Yeah.
from what you've seen of the Jedi,
Yep.
yay or nay?
Yeah, I like it. The torrent. We're gonna have to see what kind of role it fulfills. If it's cheap enough to swarm, cool.
Homing missile spam, baby.
Maybe I
With
don't
red
know.
boosts.
I don't know. You have to sort. Yes, Wedge has lost his S4s.
Yeah,
It is a
they're
game. So
What about as filler? So, for example,
Yeah,
if,
I mean,
if you take an A for sprites and
I think
you have enough points for an extra
So
ship,
there
it
is the
Just take better Aether Sprite.
no. So you've got the.
I'm not sure you're going to take the best ones. There's going to be a gap.
So there's an Arc 170 pilot who's called. I can't even think of his name. It's the only one we've had spoiled.
The one that uses his side arc.
Yeah. So a ship in your side arc can reroll an attack dice. So it's like
He's an
Power
escort.
Runner essentially.
Yeah.
So you can take him and a load of the torrents. Dave, that's it. Thank you, Kay. It is Dave. So yeah, there's so you can take him and a load of the torrents, and that could be quite interesting.
Yeah.
Especially if there's
See
a
if we can
missile
find
cheap
it.
enough, to make happen, or even without the missiles, and just do your thing. That guy that has a focus is pretty cool. That guy that can just take a focus action.
Yeah,
so I like
yeah,
them. The
there's-
ether sprites are awesome. And the second config, is lose 1 agility, gain a red, gain 2 shields. Is that right?
Gain 2 shields.
Yeah. So you start.
Yeah, so you become an X-wing.
3-2-3-3.
Where's he
Right.
even gone?
I think that's really good. I think, to be fair, actually though, that being said, I think I did like that a lot better when supernatural reflexes were cheaper. Because you take that on Anakin, and you just say, "Well, I'm not going to be there.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to get shot."
Is that going to be quite a hefty points boost, though, that configuration?
I don't know. I don't know what it'll be. So that'll be really
I
interesting.
don't think it'll be cheap.
Yeah.
Because if you're taking in all their abilities on top of 3 at the front extra shields,
Yeah.
I think they're going to be quite hefty at that kind of level.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, losing that agility dice is big,
I can't watch charge
but getting an extra red dice is massive. So,
Yeah. And 2 shields.
yep.
So you might be losing an evade dice,
Yep.
fair enough. But
So I do like the configuration and the modification. I mean, I think that that's why. So it's taking the modification, so you can't have afterburners,
Yeah.
because that would be really good with afterburners.
Adding eyeballs to attack roll with afterburners. Too
Yeah,
good.
you afterburners to get the bullseye on certain things, do you?
Well, yeah, you just spend a force instead, then, don't you?
Yeah, but you could do it without spending a force,
Yeah.
and then you
But
have
now
the
spend a
force.
force, you
Then
spend
you
a
have the
force.
force for your eyeball.
Just take a focus.
Just do everything. Just
And
do
yeah,
everything.
Just boost for a force, take a focus,
Yeah.
and then be Obi-Wan.
Yeah. So what is happening in this game? Do we know? So Steve found a way through the rocks.
Han Solo's left the rocks behind.
Wedge got smashed by Scorch. So Scorch long-shotted Wedge. He's like, I'm at range 3. I've got 3
Yeah,
dice.
he did. 3 dice of focus and just went.
no, he took a
Yep.
direct
Bang.
hit.
Yeah. Yep.
Ouch.
So he must have done a lot of damage to him then. So Wedge is looking. So it's going to
Bit ropey,
potentially
bit ropey.
be the Falcon versus all of Steve's list.
You know what would be really good to
At this
shoot Wedge
point.
with now? Homing missile.
Okay.
He's not letting
Tell
go.
me
is
I'm
he?
wrong, Tim.
He's not letting go.
Tell me homing missiles are not the missile of choice in this situation.
Well, no. Because you have to have engineered this specific situation.
Steve's done it.
No. Stop it. Your argument does not make sense.
Homing
Stop trolling me.
missiles are the ones, Tim.
Are they?
4 dice ranged. I'm telling you, 4 dice ranged
On
shoot for
tally.
5 points. Oh, new list idea. Here we go. I've got 5 points to spare.
What? Who
So
needs a
what
bit?
are you most excited about by the new points change?
I'll be honest. I did poop myself a little bit when I saw that Tragedy went up by 7 points. Because I saw that before I saw that all the bomber pilots had come down. So I did like see that panic, and then go, "Oh, the resistance bomber's dead," and then it wasn't dead because it was 5 points cheaper. So but I think they did that so you can still use Tragedy on it, but actually it makes the generic really, really good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just
Yeah.
just a naked generic.
A
How many
generic,
points are
no,
they
well,
now?
generic is 58
Yeah.
now. It was 63.
Yeah.
And
I could say
veteran
veteran
turret
turret
gunner
gunner.
is 6 points. So now it was 63 for a naked generic. It's now 64 for a generic with veteran turret gunner.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I'd
That's
just take a
pretty
naked
good.
generic though.
Nah, veteran turret gunner. Just point the turret at the front. Off you
You
go.
can take like 2 generics and Poe.
Yeah, but you couldn't do that.
Well, you
before.
could
No,
take 2
that's
generics
good.
and a whole slew of options.
But why would I take Poe?
I don't know.
Exactly. I would take tally.
Because you don't like winning.
I never win with both. Never happens.
Does anyone win with that?
I don't know. To be fair, I'm one of the, and especially post points change. One of the things I'm enjoying about X-Wing is just how hard it is. It's such a hard game now. It's like you don't have to just, like you might have this I-6.
That's because you don't fire home missiles to.
Okay, that's what I'm doing wrong. I need
Okay,
homing
you see.
missiles. Hashtag blame Ryan and his homing missiles.
Yeah.
There does seem to be less point and click lists.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Which is nice. I mean, it's good because we play this game to fly ships.
absolutely. So I think
I concur. What have you done,
I
Tim?
don't
What are you
know.
doing,
I'm
Tim?
computing again. Leave me alone. That's what I want to do. There we go. Death Rain is saying that he's going to put Death Rain on the table and watch him survive proton torpedo shots. So
Death Rain with homing missiles. You know it makes sense, Charles.
Death Rain with not barrage rockets.
homing missiles.
So since we've
Miles
just
knows
talked
it.
about Wave 3, now is a good chance to say that you can visit the Weekend Warlord shop at.
Oh, weekendwarlords.co.uk.
This is where you normally summon. This is where we summon John. Normally, producer John
Yeah, I know.
will pop up in the chat,
Yeah.
and
This is a
and
store
the
as
link
well as
will
a stream,
appear.
guys.
We'll say it wrong. That normally gets him to put it in. So it's at weekendwarlords.com/shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You can
Somewhere
pre-order
on the
Wave
internet You
3.
can buy Wave 3.
Yeah, from Weekend Warlords, from our fabulous hosts at the store.
Yes.
Steve's much better at plugging stuff than I am. We need him in the booth.
Charles, homing missiles are your friend. They're all you need.
Okay, so
They're proton torpedoes light, Tim.
Wedge has just actually landed a manoeuvre directly behind Recoil.
Yeah, Steve tried to go as slow as possible, and then Wedge can go slower.
It's true.
Is what happened there.
It is true. He probably couldn't have gone slower than like a too hard away and boost back, could he?
No, Steve two banked and then barrel rolled backwards back into the
Trying
board.
to block him.
Trying
Okay,
to block him,
I see.
and Wedge has just gone, nope.
Kay says he'd pre-order if any of them have homing torpedoes in.
Well, surely by
Homing torpedoes?
Homing torpedoes, homing missiles. I want homing torpedoes.
by Ryan's rationale, every set should have
Yep.
homing.
Oh, they're
torpedoes.
essential.
Very true.
I never leave home without them, apart from in every game.
So Han has not taken any damage, and only Recoil has taken damage for Steve. So, oh, okay. He barrel rolled Wedge. Oh, out of arc of Tabson.
Yeah, Tabson's a bit dangerous. You don't want to shot by Tabson.
Yep. No, Tabson hasn't shot yet. I don't think.
Shooting is overrated.
Yep, and
Because he's not got homing
I
missiles.
think next turn he might be able to get a shot on Wedge potentially.
Well, maybe. Wouldn't he just zero? Zero seems pretty good. Where's Wedge going to go for zero?
Through those rocks.
To the
There'll be a
left.
TIE fighter in the way.
To the left. To the left.
He might be able to hard one, right? It's probably got homings in. Yeah, you're right. It's probably got homings in. See, I really like the squadron packs.
Oh, yeah.
I think the squadron packs are really cool.
Most
idea.
people just get two of those.
Yeah,
Squadron
but
packs?
I am depending on how much they are. I am thinking of getting
More than two.
maybe even 3
Yeah.
of the.
I just want to
Sith
fly
ones.
arcs and torrents.
Yeah.
Squadron packs?
So you get 2. So you get 3 ships in each of them with a load of upgrades. They're a bit like the old Most Wanted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you get
Imperial
you
Aces,
get
blah 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 blah.
well you get 3 ships. So you get the belly rub and the 2.
Just realised what you said there.
Yeah, the Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur.
And the 2.
The belly rub Bulbasaur.
The blah blah blah
Blah blah blah blah blah blah blah.
And the 2.
Bill and Ben.
What's it called?
The one that
the
attaches
Vulture droids.
Vulture droid. The
Yeah,
one that attached
so you get
to
2 Vulture droids. So in order to get like the 7 Vulture droids you might need, you can get 2 squadron packs. 3 squadron packs.
Can,
and then
can you fit them with homing missiles, Tim?
No,
They're dead to me.
Take missiles though, can't they?
Can they?
Yeah.
Can they?
Yeah,
Well,
'cause
there you
they've got
go.
the special
Vulture
missile.
droids with homing missiles. That's a list, everybody.
Well, 7 with
Hold.
Yeah.
7 vultures and homing.
Well, why wouldn't you? You see 7 Zeds with homing missiles all the time.
Do you?
No.
But
you
let
could.
me think about
Do
that.
you?
You could, though.
You could. Well, yes.
That's going to be my next list on the stream is how many homing missiles can you fit in a list? I need to know, chat. Build me a list that has the maximum number of home missiles. Is that 6 ships with home missiles, or can I fit 7? I want to know.
M3s, I think, would be my
No,
way
it'd be
to go.
Zeds.
M3s are cheaper.
Zeds are 23 points. Nothing's cheaper than a Z, sir.
M3s are more expensive than a Z.
M3s are a lot more expensive.
But they're
like
worse.
30 points for an M3.
But they're quite clearly poo.
6?
6? That's a disappointing number.
Ugh.
6 with what? Is that Zs?
Zeds?
Is that Zs?
Well, a Z with home missiles is going to be...
See 7 Zs with homing missiles all the time, but only on the squad builder.
I haven't got 7 Z95s, though.
Have you not?
No.
I'm
I've
disappointed.
only got like 6.
Oh.
Yeah, home missiles are the ones. I don't know what Tim's on about. 4 dice at range 2 to 3 is really good. And you deny the range bonus.
Unless you just want to take a lot of 1 damages. What's that? We're still arguing about homing missiles.
It's 4 dice
Would
range
you
2 to
believe
3,
it?
Tim.
Stop it. You've got to get the target lock.
Well, so you do with the proton torpedo.
Sorry.
You have to do that with the proton
Yeah, but
torpedo
in order
anyway.
to spam it, you're on low initiative, and then that makes it really difficult to get the target lock.
I'll just do it anyway.
Well, I'm not saying don't do it.
So it's hard.
I'm just saying it's hard.
It's not easy.
Well, I
You
like to play
know,
extreme
homing
hard mode.
missiles ain't easy.
I never,
So-
well, they are. They do require a lot of skill.
They do. So on your Veni, do you have a perceptive co-pilot, or do you have?
Perceptive co-pilot, baby.
Yeah. So you don't have 3PO.
No.
No.
There's only 2 point difference now anyway. I didn't even think it was worth dropping down to 4 point difference.
No, that's true.
With 2 point difference,
Did
definitely
did
not
3PO
worth.
not come down then? So the same as
No,
6.
we saw
Okay,
6.
interesting. Yep.
So I
Yeah.
feel like for the 2 points you get a lot more.
Yes, munition. No. Why did munitions failsafe come down in points?
Because it's rubbish.
You're not going to play it anyway.
It's
Might
the
as well
kind of
just-
card.
Just burn the
Even
car.
if it was 0, I don't think.
There you
I
go.
think people would be
seven
like,
seven
maybe.
bandits with home missiles is 196 points. Do you like it, Tim?
No, I don't like it.
Why not?
So take like Raster's list against that kind of list.
yeah.
Yeah.
You kill Wedge in a turn
How?
because he has 6 health and you have 7 home missiles. The maths adds up.
You aren't gonna. You aren't gonna have 7
Dodge-
target locks on him.
Oh, I am.
You just
can do that.
You're just not, and then he's not going to be in 7 arcs.
Yeah, he is.
By the time you've set up target locks, and then those target locks have arcs, you're like, okay, I take a damage, and then I regen it with R2D2.
No, but he doesn't regen if it takes 7 damage in a turn.
He's not going to
Tim.
take 7 damage in a turn.
Yes, he is. I've got 7 homing missiles. That's how it works.
Death Rain says I've got to slap you. So
Why would you do that?
yeah, I'm wrong.
We're also-
I'll be wrong every day of the week, Rich. on that one,
We're
I'm
also
afraid.
we're also taking into account that whatever you're shooting at hasn't killed one of your Zeds.
Yeah.
Because you're shooting
Yeah,
first, 'cause
exactly,
they're all
yeah.
parts of the rock.
How's, Zeg,
Yeah.
how's Wedge going to one-shot Zed? Not seeing it.
How? How could that
How can
happen?
he possibly do that?
Yeah.
I agree, Paul.
There you go.
Perceptive is better because
So
if you add because you're adding the eyeball, if you've got C3PO, you just whatever your dice you roll, you're just leaving them to it.
What if you could take? What if you could take? Don't know what's happening in the chat now. Why are we talking about Zeds with homing missiles? So, what if you could take evasive, brilliant evasion, or whatever it's called, on Veni?
Oh,
What was that? Brilliant evasion on?
Veni.
oh! I do have a bone to pick. That Venny does not have an EPT,
No.
despite his ace
She.
status.
She.
Well, we don't know. To be fair.
No, I think it is.
No, Venny's my boy. Leave me alone.
I think Veni's a she.
No, Venny, we don't know.
Gonna Google.
Venny's just a card. Venny is just an
Google it.
X-wing card.
It's just an X-wing card. No,
Yeah.
I think it is actually a pilot from the film.
Well,
No,
have
it
to be,
isn't.
don't
I think it's Lady.
Well,
Lady.
yeah, you're right, Tim. What would I know about Star Fortresses?
Why would you?
Exactly.
What would you know about missiles?
Don't be rude. I know that
do
home
you
missiles
want to like
are
just put your
excellent.
handbags away?
Venny should have an EPT, right?
No.
Because Venny is an ace.
Yeah.
What? No.
So he did the 0.
It's a large
so
base
now
ship.
watch the. She's in Poe's comic.
She's in Poe's comic.
Yep.
What?
See, Venny is.
I don't read the comics. Venny's a he.
Comics
anyway.
are for nerds. Readings for nerds.
Yeah.
Nerd.
Backwards firing K. You're a genius.
5
Backwards firing home missiles.
ISGSS with homing missiles, 105, not just homing, but backward. Wow.
Wow.
That's surely a thing, Tim. Surely.
No.
Firing homing missiles out your bum.
Venny never flew an A-wing.
There you go. Look, straight through them rocks because he did the 0. See you later.
Well, why has he not put the TIE fighter in the way?
He couldn't. The hard one would have put him on the rock.
Yeah, but that TIE fighter's got
No,
arc.
it wouldn't.
Yes, it would.
No, it wouldn't. Timmy wrong.
Ooh.
Well,
You
yeah,
even
yeah.
researched
Venny's not in
that.
any comics. I'm not having it. I want proof.
Venny is a lady.
Venny is not.
Venny is your girl.
Oh.
Hashtag Venny is your girl.
I've just lost the chat. Never mind.
No, you haven't.
I have.
No, you haven't. It's just there to the left. I can see it.
Where's? Let's do a quick Wikipedia, shall we?
Can you do Talonbane Cobra Head or whatever it's called? Talonbane Cobra Face.
Do we?
What's he called?
Talonbane.
Cobra.
Talonbane.
Yeah, just while we're on it. No,
To be fair-
Talonbane Cobra Head.
No.
That's his real name.
No, it isn't.
It is.
There you go. There's
It
Talonbane
is.
Cobra.
It's just one sentence.
He was
He
a dude.
died.
Yeah.
Him dead.
Yeah, he's like,
He
he's their
died.
best pilot.
Dead.
Died.
He was there. He's a pilot.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you killed him in Star Wars Galaxies.
Ah, there you go.
Because Tansari
Oh, is that a battle in
Station.
a computer game then?
Yes,
I didn't know
Tansari
that.
Station was like the first place you get a ship in. I never played Galaxies,
Okay.
but it looks the stuff up.
Yep.
And he's like the main boss.
Stop talking about homing missiles.
Home missiles are great. Let's look at Venny. I don't-
Then he
See,
just says,
Talonbane Cobra is so less of a thing they don't
he
even
just
have
says
a
Ryan.
picture of his face.
So my wife used to work with somebody who would get into arguments with his co-workers, and he would deliberately choose opinions like, I suspect you have about homing missiles. Then he knew full well that one person would go to Wikipedia to look it up, and before they did, he would change the article. He would go in and edit the article on Wikipedia. Yeah, so there you go.
Venny wasn't even in the Poe comic.
Speaking of which,
She was.
for
that's
some,
not a Poe comic.
It is.
It's
You're-
not a Poe
it is.
comic. It's just a Cobalt Squadron comic.
Yeah, they're posing.
the person.
No, he's not.
I was watching the Super Bowl.
Where's Poe?
Okay.
Halftime show was
It's
Maroon
Rose
5.
Page.
Hey, was it? Okay.
Yeah, my folks had no idea who Maroon 5 was.
Yep.
So I went onto Wikipedia
Yep.
to give them a description of who
Yep.
Maroon 5 was.
And
Now,
then they
this is
said, what is Wikipedia?
and this is well, no, this is during the show, by the way. This hasn't even finished. And,
Okay.
and I was reading down the list, and at the end of the general description of the bottom, it says, and they played for 2019 Super Bowl, and they were awful. They hadn't even finished playing yet.
That's amazing.
So someone had edited Wikipedia
Yeah.
before it even
So that's
finished.
either somebody who is so dedicated to Maroon 5 that they edit everything live.
But
Or-
if they were so dedicated, why would
I
they
know,
say
yeah,
it was
yeah.
terrible?
And it was really bad.
It's really bad.
Or
Yeah.
Someone really hates Maroon
somebody
5.
really hates Maroon 5 and just would have said they were terrible before they even
Yeah.
came on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's
Or-
someone who's just brutally honest about
Yeah,
it.
just someone
Just
that-
an NFL
someone-
fan who's just
Someone
brutally
thought,
honest.
do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to edit
I'm going to edit Wikipedia about this.
Yeah.
This is just not good enough.
Or somebody, who do I complain to?
I need someone to complain to.
Yeah. So
Wikipedia will do.
Yeah.
I'll complain to the planet.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I thought that was quite impressive.
So both of Rasta's ships are out of the trap at this point.
It's a trap.
Nice. Yep. No, I can see that death rain. So yeah, start an argument with someone until another person joins in the argument, then walk away and let them carry
That's
on with
kind of like the thing where you stand in like a public place and look up,
it. Yes.
and then you wait for
Yeah.
other people to
One of
come
my-
and look up.
One
and
of
then
my
you
favourite
leave,
pranks.
and then you come back and see if anyone's still
One
there.
of my favourite pranks I've ever seen was a guy with a tape measure at a corner of a skyscraper. And he was like trying to measure, and he kept kind of making a big deal of letting the tape measure go awkwardly and it coming back and retracting to him. So he would ask somebody to stand and put their finger on the tape measure, and then he would go round the corner to complete the measurement. But then he would ask another person to hold the other end of the tape measure. So he then had two people stood on two sides of a building that couldn't see each other, that were just stood waiting for this guy to come back whilst holding a tape measure. I quite like that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I like that. It's quite good. So
Me and a mate always wanted to dress up in hazmat suits with clipboards and then run through the centre of town,
screaming.
screaming meltdown, meltdown.
Yeah, I've got a tear.
but yeah, that's probably illegal, so we decided against it.
Yes. Yes.
There'd be some kind of law thing going
Yeah,
on
there
there,
probably would be.
inciting panic or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yes, I do like that one as well, Death Rain. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, walking across the road, pretending that you're holding a large pane of glass. I like it. I don't know. Are we running out of things to talk about? I feel like we're running out of things to talk about.
Well, what do you think about 6 Skicks with her missiles?
No. No, stop it with the homing missiles.
6?
So I tell you what, I am quite excited to play. I'm quite excited to play the Falcon.
You know what the Falcon can equip, don't you, Tim?
Homing missiles. It's not
No,
bad though,
but
actually. 'cause it
Why
does
has
give you
everyone
a
jumped
front
on the Falcon?
Exactly.
Sorry?
Two.
Why has everyone jumped on the Falcon?
So it's the Falcon.
True, it's iconic. I get that.
Yeah,
I've heard of
it's
it.
10 points cheaper.
Okay.
Wow, well,
Is that across the board on all
Lando's
planets,
12
all
points
pilots, or?
It's 10 on Han, 12 on Lando. The generics are ridiculously cheap. Yeah. So and then you can. So I was running a list before the points change, just a casual list that was Han and 3 Zs, and now I can have the same loadout on Han and have an extra Z. That's how cheap the Falcon is. And I even considered, I don't know whether I'll do it, but I even considered dropping the Z and Hotshot Gunner and taking Luke Gunner on Han.
Wow.
Because he's come down in points as well. So I can take 3 Zs.
he is still 26 points, though.
Sorry?
He is still 26 points.
It's fine. I think you get better value out of it on the YT than you do on the Falcon. But you have a 1.0.
Wait, you get better
Falcon.
value on the YT than the Falcon?
The YT 2400.
Okay.
Yeah, on the YT 2400.
Dash, but was.
Or you could just point your arc in the right place.
Are we going back to the whole like flying your ships properly thing again?
Yeah, you could just fly properly.
Yeah, but if you do that, you get a passive mod.
Or you get a passive mod for your home missile.
Oh, here we go.
You, sir.
Oh, so you can target lock
You-
and use the force for your home missile. That is very
So
potent.
Kay says, get a white coat and spend a fun afternoon wandering around a hospital looking at people's charts, then do a sharp intake of breath and walking away shaking your head. That's like the guy that goes to the doctors and the doctor looks at him and says, there's no easy way to tell you this. He says, you've only got 5, and the guy goes, 5 months to live, and the doctor says, no, 4, 3, 2, 1. Never mind.
I don't think he liked it. Looking at Ryan's face, I don't think he appreciated that one.
And then he hit him in the face with a homing missile.
4 dice, yeah?
Exactly, 4 dice, Tim.
Rules
Count them,
question.
Tim.
Rules question.
Oh. As long as
Tim.
you don't spend the target lock, would there be any reason why Captain Justero can't fire the same missile twice in the same round?
No,
Don't think
and it
so.
should be a homing missile.
I almost swore there. It
No,
was literally a building in my
and
mouth.
I don't
I'm reeling them in, boys. Reeling them in.
think so. Just remember that if you do so you're really looking at concussion missile, aren't you?
No, Tim. We've had this discussion for like the last 10, 15 minutes.
But so
Concussion missiles are not the missile.
So it isn't going to be cluster.
No, because you just fire off 2 clusters anyway.
Yeah, and then you can't do any. You can't do
PJ,
Justero's
don't
attack.
start.
So yeah, concussion missile specifically. No, I don't think so. I think you can do that. I think you can fire. Wow, I made Rich laugh with that joke.
Well,
so
well, hold on. Let's get. Does Jostero say perform bonus attack or bonus primary attack? Is my only question.
no, it's bonus attack. You can.
Well, I'm just saying. Why don't we look
Yeah.
at the card?
Why don't we look at the card? Why don't we put it over the game so people can't see it? Let's
Can
be
you work out how to
really-
do that by yourself, Tim?
Yes. No. Yes.
Still-
Maybe.
Yes.
Yay!
Yes. No.
Possibly.
No. Yes.
Why are you homing?
Can't even spell.
Homing missile.
Oh. Why have you
Homing
spoiled
missile.
mystery guest? Why have you spoiled my joke?
What joke?
Look at that
Because
4
I was going
dice.
to put that on.
Range
We're supposed to
2
be looking
to
at
3.
Justero.
Sorry, Tim.
And then
I'm so
and
sorry.
then I was going
I'm
to
so
curse
sorry.
Ryan
I'm so sorry.
for having put it on. Right, okay.
I'm
Forget
sorry.
that happened.
All right.
Uh,
Try it again.
mystery guest spoils everything.
I'm a spoiler.
Who are we looking for?
Jostero.
Captain.
Captain. Can't be that many pilots called captain.
There's
can
lots
there?
of captains.
Oh, lots of
Yeah.
captains. Who knew?
There he is. There he is. There he is.
There he is. Kirax fighter. What does he do? After enemy ship suffers damage, if it's not defending, you may perform a bonus attack against that ship. So yes, as long
Yeah,
as
as
you
long as you fulfill the requirements of the
Yeah.
missile.
the what?
There's the missile.
The crimes.
The requirements.
Oh, I thought you. Kind
So
of,
you
yeah.
can't fire the homing missile without having a target lock. Is my point.
No, exactly.
Surely it can't be off your own shots.
No,
You can't trigger off your own shots.
no, you don't
sure.
trigger off your own shot,
Yeah.
but you
No,
could.
you can't trigger off any shot because they
Yeah.
can't be defending.
Yeah, correct.
You have to supply the damage in a different way, sir. You have to be more imaginative than
So say
shooting.
you have the target lock.
Yes.
So you have the target lock, and there you go over a rock.
Oh, so when they
And
say
they go over a rock.
sorry,
you
I
shoot your
or-
you shoot your
misunderstood.
concussion missile, and then in the combat phase, you shoot your second charge from your concussion missile. So you do 2 as long as you haven't spent the target lock.
But you wouldn't fire concussion missiles because you got home missiles.
Yeah, I'm
Stop
still
it.
struggling with this, right? So, Justero's lined up on someone. Someone else shoots.
No,
No. So
that wouldn't trigger it. So if Justero moves, takes target lock,
Yeah.
then that thing moves. Say it goes over a rock,
Right.
or it moves into the path of a bomb, and it takes damage. Justero can shoot his concussion missile at it, and then if he doesn't spend the target lock in the combat phase, presuming he still has a shot, he can shoot the.
Yeah, you see, I misunderstood what it meant. What the definition of defending was.
It's just if you are in an attack, basically. If you are in an attack and you are the defender.
I basically misunderstood it and thought that was basically the same as evading.
No.
So if it didn't have an evade token, they aren't.
So if you,
No,
didn't,
it's
if you didn't have a defend token.
Defend token.
If the target takes damage from a mechanic other than being shot at.
I
Yeah.
was being stupid, right?
And
So,
with Defra, and I agree, Steve is really holding his own in this game. He's doing really well.
Yeah.
Really well. He's forcing those ships to hit and run, which is what he needs to do. But he's also doing damage in return. Like
Yeah.
he needs to get Wedge. I think I'm going to go and get them. In fact, mystery guest,
Yes.
would you mind going to get them to update the R2D2 charges for us, please? Because people at home might want to know that.
Yeah, Voldemort.
I think
I think he's
a
got
charge.
2. I think he's got 1 left. So
He's got one left.
yeah. Ooh,
Now,
that
how
was
well
the
do you
mystery
think-
guest banging the door on the
How
way
well do you
out.
think Steve would be doing right now if he had some home missiles?
Sorry, say again.
How well do you think Steve would be doing if he had home missiles?
Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
I don't know what this negativity is all about. I don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
Dunded.
Cool. Thank you. Yes. So he
Wedge has just used everything.
So he has 1 charge left. So actually, yeah, he's got to kill. He needs to kill Wedge pretty fast.
Yes.
Because next turn he's up to 3 health. So it could do with getting arcs on Wedge, because then that makes him choose between regenerating or taking a shot before he goes down.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, he can have homing missiles on recoil.
Yeah, that's right, Kai. He would. He could have homing missiles on recoil,
But
yeah,
you wouldn't.
But you wouldn't.
you
You just got to drop the prockets, which are rubbish. They're more expensive and they have 1 less charge.
And they're always 5 dice though.
Yeah, but 4 dice is pretty good as well.
It's not 5 dice though, is it?
But 4 dice twice.
It's also easier to get a focus
Also,
than a target.
right. So you're talking about, actually, to be fair, you're also talking about the 7Zs with
Homers.
homing missiles. Why are they taking the 1 damage? Because 4 dice with target lock, because that's all you're going to have, is only 3 hits anyway.
Yeah.
So it depends on how many of those are. There could be a scenario in which you, at your initiative, kill 1, dodge 2 other arcs, and then don't take any damage off the 3rd.
I have actually been known to take the 4 dice
Yeah.
in the face
Well, so I'm saying it's 4 dice range 2 to 3.
and make people roll dice.
It's really good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Desperately trying to keep a straight face.
What are you trying to say, Jags?
Mystery guest.
Mystery guess.
I'm trying to say that I'm not sold on your theory of homing missiles.
They're brilliant.
Yeah, I think. Would the
Give him a
hard 2
go.
have fit there? No, I don't think it would.
It would have slammed him round a rock.
It could have hard
That'd
wand
be fine.
unless
Oh,
he was
yeah,
stressed.
right.
I think he could have hard wand.
He's
And then-
reinforced the buttocks.
Why
I
not?
don't know. Because he's not got any home missiles, he's got no other ideas.
He's lost.
Why?
Lost without them.
What?
I would be.
Why has he reinforced the rear?
Go and ask him.
No, I'll leave him to play his game. He's doing really well. I don't want to put him off.
I'm not taking responsibility. There you go, see? Rich gets it.
Wait, 1 second. The end of that justification ends in Talon Brain Cobra Head.
Talonbrain's a really good pilot.
Like or don't like?
No, I like it.
You don't like it? You don't like Talonbane?
Nope.
Why not?
Why not?
Sorry?
Why not?
It's just too pricey for what he does. He doesn't have, like, he's I5, but like doesn't have double reposition.
Nobody has home missiles.
He's no Fen though, is he? Like, Fen carries his own homing missiles around with him.
No, he carries prockets.
Throws them out the window at people.
He doesn't fire 4 dice range 2 to
So
3 boss.
here we see the Rocks playing a massive advantage for Rasta. So, like, Scorch is chasing the Falcon, but the Falcon is pretty much just gonna, you know, it can turn into that channel, keep the rocks between him and Scorch, and the rocks are stopping Scorch from hard turning around to keep following him. Like next turn he can't hard turn again. He might be able to hard 3 actually.
Man needs collision detectors.
Yeah, well,
No, he just needs seismics.
who doesn't need collision detectors? Why did that only go up 1 point?
Just Trash Sim seismics. That's a more permanent solution.
The game isn't called Why Doesn't Tim Like It? I don't need to justify myself. I would play that game though. To be fair.
But the thing is, though, I want to learn more.
Right.
So I want to ask questions.
Yeah, you should ask questions.
And therefore,
everyone should ask questions.
Tim justifying
in all
himself
honesty, right,
teaches me.
In all honesty, like we're all just another voice on the internet, and we can only really speak to our experiences and
True enough.
and kind of what we've learned from playing the game. But none of, barring the gentleman on the left out there on your screen, you know, we all have pretty limited play of this game, and I think, you know, you can sort of scenario things out. You can kind of
You can math it.
you can math things out. You can think through things in your head, you know. But until you actually get table time, like whatever anybody told you in a podcast, just listen to it if you want to. If you're that way inclined, do your own thing if you want to do your own thing, but never be afraid to try out.
Dumb stuff.
No, no, I'm not saying dumb stuff. If you want to play 7Zs with
Homing missiles.
home missiles, play 7Zs with
Knock
home
yourself
missiles
out.
and see what it's like.
I want to play 7 Cents with Home
Because
missiles.
it
I would
might,
expect that on the table
it-
next week.
You know, it may be that we've played those lists, got frustrated with them after a few games, and canned them. You know, there could be something there. Play it. Don't play it to the point where you're not enjoying the game anymore because it's terrible and you just don't want to admit that you're wrong about it.
I'm never
but-
wrong, Tim.
You know, but just play X-Wing because it's cool. Play the game as much as you can.
Is that why
It's
no
all
one's
right.
running,
with whatever you want to play it. And
apart
don't
from
let-
Imperial aggressors?
Apart from Imperial aggressors. I mean, put them on the table.
I
see what
want
they're like,
to.
but no, don't.
But then every time
But
I
I
put
own 4.
oh yeah, I put them in a list. I put them in on the app
So-
or whatever, and I just
Do
look
you
up
own
and go.
4 because you used to have TLT on them, Tim?
I've
They're
never
just
played
not
it. I've never
good
put
enough.
one on the table, and I own 4.
I've
yeah,
got-
because of TLT.
I think I've got
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, and it's largely because I want a lot of store credit.
I got 1
So I
because
was
of
like-
intensity.
See, I used to get a lot of
True.
use out of
Yeah.
intensity.
I think that's what I did first. I bought 2 because they were an Imperial turret carrier, and at the time, 2 TLTs plus a 3rd chip was a really good archetype for a lot of the factions.
Yeah.
A lot of, I mean, the other 2.
And TLT was really wholesome, wasn't it?
But
Oh, yeah,
TLT was
TLT.
very wholesome. Yeah, the most wholesome card
Yeah, I loved it.
ever.
It was a really positive play experience.
Oh,
Would
every
you
time.
play? Would you play TLT or Home Missile?
Ooh.
Oh, can I have
Ooh.
both?
No.
No, greedy.
What about homing TLTs?
Oh, home in TLT.
So you can either
So you
take,
guarantee-
so you can take the roll and then take the 1 damage, or you can choose to not take the roll and take the 1 damage.
I have been in a situation like that because I played against a TLT Ghost and it had you know, Axis Corrector back in the day when you could just cancel your roll for 2 hits. And I had a 1 agility ship,
Yep.
so it's just like there you go, 2 damage
Yeah.
because I can dodge it.
I,
That's a homing TLT.
I agree wholeheartedly with what Death Rain's saying. So,
What?
if you have an idea, play it for at least 10 games. 20 is a stretch.
Who gets
if
20?
if you have time to commit for 20 games to an idea, then that's fine. I think after 10 games, you're going to know whether it's something worth carrying on with or not. And that might be just that it might be the best idea you've ever had. It might be the best idea anyone's ever had. But if you're not enjoying it, don't carry
Fair.
on.
I mean, that's why I fly
You
for
know.
3 Vipers.
Yep. Yeah. And
Can Vipers have homing missiles?
No. Yes. No.
No, they have torps.
Ah,
Homing torpedoes. Here we
protons
go,
are rubbish.
Tabson. Tabson's
The
going
thing
to
is,
play
though,
chicken with the Falcon.
You
Oh,
just,
yeah.
I've never ever
Tabs.
had the situation with Vipers where you're generally in a position to be able to fire torps because you spend too much time barrel rolling them into focus.
Yes.
Well, then it's a good thing that one of the torrents can barrel roll into target lock.
No, that's a completely different thing. That's a completely different
Tim.
thing.
Why you got to be so negative?
I'm not being negative.
I'm being realistic.
Yeah, that's probably
I don't know.
I've said this
I've said
to Steve, but I have actually opened a couple of Christmas presents in the past, or watched people open Christmas presents and gone, "You're never going to use that."
Did you get the person that present? Because that'd be
That would be amazing. Like, yeah, I bought you this, but you're honest,
never going to
it's
use
going to sit in your cupboard for 4 years. So
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
So
I don't.
it's pretty much looking like Rasta's game at this point, barring
Disagree.
barring a massive swing.
I'm prepped for a massive swing.
Okay, fair enough. We'll see what happens
It's the
then.
last
I
turn.
guess it.
Sorry?
It's the last turn, probably.
If
Oh, that's true.
if Solo was a bit more messed up and maybe
Yeah.
a bit more.
Nah, they can get wedge.
Yeah,
Look at
no, I
this.
agree with that. Death Rain as well. Yeah, he's reinforcing with the shuttle, and actually he just needs to focus, because even if he takes some damage on the shuttle, it's not the end of the world. I do like how the wing keeps opening on the shuttle though. Shuttle's just waving to the internet. Hello, internet.
Yeah.
That's the one that happened when I was playing 3 Upsilons on stream, and it kept doing it as well. It was just flopping to the side. There was a really cool moment when it high-fived another Upsilon that was next to it.
He can't regenerate the shield.
Yeah, there's no more regen left.
There's no charge on R2D2, and there's no depleted shields to regenerate. Apart from that, Adam, yeah, he can regenerate a shield.
No,
apart from those
hashtag
two-
Put it where you want.
Impossible problems to overcome. He can
So you
regenerate a shield.
What just happened?
He boosted through the gap with the focus.
You don't boost onto a
No, he's through
debris.
the gap.
He is in not.
He's through the gap, Tim.
Okay, cool.
You see that gap?
I want to believe it.
He's in it. I gotta believe.
I want to believe it. I think he was on the rock before he moved it, personally.
No, he wasn't.
No, I know he wasn't. He was nowhere near the rock.
Because it's not a rock.
He moved the rock.
Oh, I see.
The rock that is a rock.
But
He
it
moved
is
that.
a rock, not the rock that isn't a rock.
Yeah,
But it's
that's
actually
right.
a cargo chute.
That's the one.
Lando carries.
I would like to point out that that's my cargo chute.
Oh well, Lando. So.
So everything.
Oh no.
Double evade.
Oh no.
All the green rerolls. All the time. Oh, would you like a barrel roll by chance, sir?
What with wedge?
Yeah, with wedge.
Yep. Just get it out of the silencer arc though.
Talking about
Well,
running.
or do you just focus and shoot the thing?
He hasn't fired his proton rockets yet, has he?
Nope.
And he's got a shot on hot.
Hunt's got a lot of evade.
Yeah.
Oh. If he gets half points on half.
Could you though?
He's got.
I mean, if
he's
he
got,
blanks
he's
out.
got
It's
potentially
got-
have a 5 dice and a 4 dice shot at
It
it.
has got 2 evades, but yeah, it could do. Oh, Wedge just fluffed that, hasn't he?
Yeah, a little bit. One hit.
It's a crit though,
He's dodged it.
but it's all good.
Come on, Steve. Steal the game in the 11th hour. This is time as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I'm liking.
Do they know it's time?
Probably not.
I have no
Go
idea.
and tell them.
Shout time on the roundup.
Really confusing being in a tournament.
And door slamming in 2. There we go.
You missed that one there, Tim.
What's that one? So Bonsai says, what do you guys think of this list? Nim with Trickshot, Genius, Proxmine, Seismic, Perceptive Co-Pilot and Skill Bombardier.
Yeah, they know.
Han with Falcon Title, Trickshot, Veteran Turret Gunner, 000, IG-88D, Clusters, and Shield Upgrade and Last Outer Rim Pioneer with Shield Upgrade and Trickshot. It's a lot of stuff.
I've got an opinion.
Go on then.
I don't like it.
Is that
I
because?
tell
Wait,
you
no, but guess.
for
Oh, can I
why.
guess, please? Because there's no homing missiles.
Exactly.
See?
You need to dream
See?
bigger, Bonsai.
Yeah, I think I agree with that, Death Rain. Yeah. So you've got Seismics and Trickshot. So you're looking to blow up rocks
And
and,
then shoot
exploit the rocks for the whole game. So
My list of
you're a bit-
size with trick shots. What are you trying to say?
What list have you played that's got Seismics
Super
and
Veni.
Trickshot? You got Seismics on Veni?
Yeah, of course I have.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Because you pull the handbrake,
Yeah.
launch a seismic,
But you got Trickshot as well.
trick shots on Lula.
Okay. So ignoring Ryan,
But what I should do is drop trick shot for home
right.
missiles.
I'll be honest, Bonsai. So Perceptive Co-Pilot isn't going to be that great on Nim. You get 2 focus tokens. You can use 1 on attack, and then the second one, 2/8, so a quarter of the time, you get to use it on defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should get shot at 4 times.
Especially for 8 points.
Yeah. So
For 8 points.
for 8 points, yeah.
Yes, if any clears its own room.
So veteran turret gunner.
You know, Paul.
I don't think veteran turret gunner is ever worth the points to invest in. The chances of you having 2 ships on either side of your large ship are very slim.
Just point your turret out the front.
So yeah, I would invest in something different than veteran turret gunner. I mean, I think the archetype has legs. So you've got IG-88D on hand.
I think VTG is great. Keep at it.
So what have we got IG-88D for?
Scum, right?
Yeah, scum hand. And clusters.
I like Perceptive Co-Pilot and Lando.
Yeah, so protons. I mean, I like it. I think you just have a look at a couple of the upgrades in there and just think, am I just spending the points on this because I've got points, or do I need it? What will it actually do for me in this game? So the Scum Falcon's got a lot of potential, especially with title and Han's ability. You can roll a lot of dice with it. So what you want is kind of, so Lando Crew's good.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, so
See,
Lando
I
Crew with
Perceptive.
yeah, or IG-88D.
Lando with IGD. Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. That's a bit of a
Probably
cheaper
just-
because it's
yeah.
like 16 points
yeah.
for Lando with
IGD's half the
thingy,
price,
so-
Perceptive.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so
Way better than Resistance C3.
But on the flip side
Yep.
of it, you
and
you
again,
calculate.
yeah, use Death Rain's methodology. So play 10 games with that list. Bonza. Is it
And
Bonza?
then
Yeah,
you'll
play 10 games
notice.
with that list. Yeah, and you'll start to see which upgrades you never use, which upgrades you use the most.
How many
Can
missiles?
you? So I'm gonna. I think they've just finished. I think Rasta won. So Rasta doing what you do need to do with that list. You know, he's getting up on points, staying up on points, running away when he needs to conserve his points.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So going back to Bond,
It's almost like he knows how to play this game.
it is. No, he does. He does. Yeah, and sometimes he gets frustrated with us because we don't play it as well as him. But
Well, talk for
I
yourself, Tim.
have to try and remind him that not all of us are Rasta.
I think you'll find I'm very good.
Not all of us are that good that we sired a world champion. So
Well, I'll get
I didn't
round to
realise
you
it was
know,
genetic.
his leftover genetic material spawned a world champion. So so Steve's list, he's been playing a similar version to this.
Yeah.
Like he sent it to me the other night, and rather honestly, I had to say to him, I think you should drop a lot of the upgrades and take a 4th ship. Like he was at the point where he had that many points in upgrades where he could take a 4th ship. Now he's going to come and speak to what he liked and didn't like about it. And he might say he might drop back and play the upgrades, but he's been playing that list for about 10 games now, roughly that, and so he'll be able to tell you whether he thinks the 4-ship version is better than the 3-ship version. But that would be my first advice when you're list building: is look at, can you get another chassis in? Can you get another ship in? You have to look at whether it's going to be an effective ship as well. It's no use just kind of getting ships in if they're never going to do anything. But you can't underestimate the value of red dice in this game, can you, mystery guest?
Never. Especially when they don't roll.
Because 2 dice at range 3 can still kill a
Can
Star
still
Viper
kill a Star Viper more
2
than
or 3
once.
times, can't it? Yeah.
More than once.
Yeah. So you can't underestimate red dice.
I mean, the thing is, at the end of the day, it is still, regardless of your upgrades, regardless of your pilot abilities and all that kind of stuff, it is still a dice game.
Yep.
The more dice you roll, the more opportunity you have to get the rolls that you require.
Yep.
If you have more red dice than your opponent has green dice,
Then why don't you like Veteran Turret Gunner?
you're on a better.
Veteran turret on a
on
bow tie.
On a bow tie, yeah.
The Skirk's
so
not a
much.
bow tie.
Didn't have it on the Skirk.
No, it's just on.
the
It's
card.
on.
Yeah.
Hand.
Yeah, well, still more shots, isn't it?
Yeah. He says, "What do you think to
with
7
only-
Zeds with Homer missiles?"
Yeah. That's a lot of red dice.
It's
isn't
a
it?
lot. Or it's
28 red dice coming at you, mate.
But it's
That could
four-
kill
it's-
anything.
But that's one of those things. Again, that's one of those things where you look at it on paper and you go, "Yeah, I have
So, yeah,
I have 28 red dice."
exactly.
Yeah, but you don't.
You do, though.
No, you don't, because they're conditional red dice. And 7.
You're
so-
conditional red dice.
So, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, you
so,
see.
Told
you.
So 14 red dice, only modifiable by focus or target lock, is not as effective as you think. It's good, and if you can get 7 things in arc, 1 thing in 7 arcs, you know, it can do a lot of damage. But if you compare that to, say, so if you compare 7 Zeds with homing missiles to 7 TIEs with Howlrunner and Iden, that's a much better list. Yeah?
Disagree, Tim.
Is Turret Gunner on the Skurg's interesting. Turret Gunner on
It's
the
got
Skurg.
half as many red dice. So by the red dice metric,
What's that?
a 7 dice one.
Who doesn't have half as many red dice, though?
It's 2 primary, sir.
Yeah, but you're not going to be firing those homing missiles all the time.
You watch me.
What if they come into range 1?
Well, I'll tell them to go away.
I'll be like, no,
No,
don't be at range
stop
1
it.
where you have potentially blocked me and then get
3 dice.
3 dice focus pseudo target lock.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've still got 3 dice for the target lock.
Yep.
Exactly, no problem.
Fair enough.
There you go, you see. I fixed it.
Hello, Dallas. Hello.
Hello.
We have Dallas from Tennessee in. Yeah, so next game we've got lined up for you is going to be, well, hopefully, I'm not sure if they're in yet, but we'll find out for you. Lee Taylor
Dave is it?
versus Dave. I know Dave is in, yeah. So hopefully, I think
know
we're
if
going to
Lee-
see.
Lee might turn up by the time we
I
go
think
in
we
here.
might be seeing a decimator.
I've heard
Oh,
of
it's
that.
I think
Dave
Dave has
Amos,
bought a
wasn't
decimator. He's been very excited. So another large ship. I think large ship turrets are really interesting with the points change.
Do you know what kind of Desi he's gone for? Has he gone for the stereotypical bumpy Oiken or rack?
If that's a genuine question, Kay, then yeah, I'm happy to look. I'm happy to look at lists. Yeah, cool. There we go. Bread, eggs, cheese, onions, milk. It's milk. You need milk, Kay. That's the thing that's missing.
Yeah. And homing missiles.
Yeah, I think he's going to come in and he's probably going to chat about the game. So we're going to transition away from that blank board. Transition.
I'm going to leave Tim to handle all the technical.
I've done it. I did it.
Winner.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Decimate. Sorry, so the Pi UK says, didn't Desi win a tournament of some description recently? I think there was a local event. It wasn't Element. I can't remember what it was, but it was.
I don't know. I don't pay attention straight.
Yeah, Decimator and a Phantom. Yeah.
Old school.
Yeah.
Phantom.
Yeah, went 5-0.
You mean the Vader carrier?
But it was a local tournament. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, it did. I think Decimator's good. And looking at the new points adjustment on Rear Admiral Shirano, and he's now, is he cheaper than a patrol leader was in First Ed?
I don't know.
Was the same price? Is it 80 points?
I don't know.
If it's
Tim.
80 points, it's the same price.
Why are you asking me? I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm just making it up. He may or may not be
They
cheaper
took
than
like
a patrol
8
leader.
points off him.
So, right, shall we get people in and they can come and chat to you guys? So,
I suppose so.
yeah, Han and Lando double Falcons. That's got a lot of potential. That's quite interesting. And
You can only have the title on one of them.
especially. That's fine. You don't need a title.
And you can't have Lando Crew then. Bang.
Bang. There we go. So you don't need the title. So you can go.
What if I
engine-
won the title?
But think about Leia, an engine upgrade on both.
Oh, that's
and
dirty,
then you
isn't
can
it?
have turns where.
That
So
is
Leia is really good. So yeah. So
Why
you
is Leia 2 points?
because she needs to be. To see play, she
2?
needs to be. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. She gives the rebel. She gives the rebels the potential to have an interesting archetype.
Fair.
Yeah, and I think she doesn't slot into every list because you need a crew carrier.
Yeah, but Rebels have a million
So
of those.
I think you can you? Oh, might be taking it in extended. Can you play 4 Blue Squadron escorts Zeb with Leia? Because if you can, that's pretty bonkers.
Yes.
Can you?
Yes.
Do you have the 2 points for it?
Yes.
If you have the 2 points for it, that's pretty good.
Yes.
That's 15. That's 15 red dice.
Yeah, but 15 is less than 28.
You correct? You are
You haven't
correct.
come close to me 28 yet, Tim.
Hi. Sorry about the door.
Sorry, our mystery guest's been slamming it all.
Oh right, okay.
All
Yeah.
anyway.
So
So
Lee,
we're joined by Steve.
Hi.
Hello, Steve.
So Lee Taylor's not arrived.
Okay.
So would you like to take up the mantle and play Dave?
Oh yes.
Yeah. Is that all right?
Yeah. The
Cool.
fist bump heard around the world.
Hi Alfred. How you doing? That wasn't a fist bump. That was a smack to the face. So
Face, was it?
how was it?
Yeah, good. Yeah, we enjoyed it. We enjoyed the game a lot. Yeah, we
Yeah.
paid a lot of attention to the. No, we did actually. We
How
did look
else,
at the game
Steve?
at the end.
Okay.
But yeah, how did you find it?
I really enjoyed it.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I like. In the immortal words of Tim Marsden,
We've done that. We've
like
been
it.
through that. I like it. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And basically, all we learned is that Ryan really likes homing missiles.
Like a little bit too
They're
much.
pretty good.
Yeah, a little
Too
bit
much.
more than
good
you
flying.
should.
Thank you,
Yeah,
guys.
pretty-
Yeah, I
Thanks for
think
the-
it,
thanks
no,
for
it
the
was. We were
positive
commenting on
feedback.
that. We thought it was
Did you,
brilliantly.
did you see my
flown
first like shuffling up the board? How I controlled my own shuffle. I thought, do you know what? If I don't even do anything else in this game, I'm really proud of that. So,
I liked it.
Yeah.
So what do
Actually,
you
Tim
think?
said your approach was bad.
No,
did you?
no. When we looked at the when we looked,
Backtrack.
no, I didn't. I thought your positioning was bad and wanted. What do you think
Yeah.
won the rest of the game?
Afterburners,
Maybe.
Layer.
possibly. Don't know.
So
No,
there- so there was
the
a-
Han Solo build he's got is just ridiculously tanky. You know, Wedge probably should have went down a couple of turns before he started to regen, which he just couldn't get enough damage through. The first engagement, I forgot about Hotshot Gunner, so I was gonna I'd focus on
Ready for the
recoil,
prockets,
ready
and
for
he-
the prockets,
and he
and he
gunned
took
it
it
off.
off. So that's
Okay.
cool. You know, so I've learned from that literally on that turn. I didn't do it again for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Apart from right at the end where I thought I've got to take a chance.
Is that your list?
Yeah, a little bit.
I've got to take.
Cool.
I've
I don't
got,
have to play that.
I've got to
That's
take a
fine.
chance.
I'm good with that. Yeah, play
Alright.
that.
Do you know what? You just talk about yourself.
Sorry.
Sorry, carry on.
So yeah, I where I lost the game was probably when I turned up this evening.
No. So Rasta set up that triangle of rocks, and
Yeah.
then he set up another rock, and then he immediately did the 4K and dropped the debris cloud,
Yeah.
and he had a massive wall of asteroids.
Yeah.
And the turn when I thought you had bad positioning was when all of your ships were just shy of that lead rock.
Yes, you're right.
And then
I
you
couldn't, I
could
couldn't hard turn in.
and all you could
Yeah.
do was bank into that channel.
Yeah.
And if you
No,
bank, and if
there
you bank,
isn't.
just a second. If you banked into that channel, then Rasta was just going to carry on turning around you.
Yeah.
He was just going to carry on
Well, I was
turning
aware
around the
of
rock,
that. I was
turning around
aware
the
of
rock. And
that.
what you did was went straight. And I thought you did really well to actually make a game of it and come back through the rocks
Yeah.
and catch him.
It's the second word.
Thank you.
And
Decent.
especially with just recoil as well.
Yeah.
Like harassing him with just recoil and making him
Yeah.
sort of really think about where
Well,
he was
that,
going to
that
be was
the
pretty cool.
coordinate focus boost.
That was
and then
awesome.
The 5 forwards,
That was really
then
cool,
The target
yeah.
lock
Yeah,
on Wedge.
Yeah.
I was hoping. Do you know what? If I've got him in procket range,
yeah,
which I think I did, but he took it off with hand.
he did. Yeah.
Right, then that's okay because that's 5 dice for the target lock and
Yeah, yeah,
focus.
yeah, yeah, it's-
So
yeah.
Wedge is going to be
Yep.
hurting
Yeah,
after that.
a lot. And then
Um,
and then he was in a position where was he turned facing you or was he running away?
He was running away, but then
Okay, so he wouldn't have been
but
coming
then,
into the
but
main
he,
list.
a
But
couple of turns later, he slooped with the
he
Falcon,
did, yeah, and then he's
which kind of threw me a little bit, and I thought,
Right.
okay, that's fine. But I knew that if I went into the rock field,
Yep.
I was committing.
Yep.
So I tried to pull that back as far as I could
Yep.
and like stall it.
Yeah,
But then when I did go through the rock field, I had to go through hard with the Upsilon
yeah,
because I didn't want to get stressed, take it off with Muse, and then have to put the template over the debris cloud
yeah,
again.
again, yeah.
So I had to go fast the 3 bank on there just to make sure that I had a clear turn next time.
Yep.
But the list for me was fun.
You like it?
Yeah, it was fun because Recoil's got the speed and the power.
Yeah,
The 2 little TIE fighters are just annoying.
yeah, yeah.
And
Scorch is awesome though, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, Scorch long shotters,
if you
wedge as well. Let's go down to 1 health.
What I found
at
with
range
Scorch
3.
is if you get it behind a ship, all you can just do is 2 bank, 2 forwards, take the stress.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's just slow roll.
It's got an
and
amazing
fire,
dial
fire,
for that
fire.
as well.
Yeah,
So yeah, you can remove the stress every.
So I enjoyed playing Scorch. Muse actually lasted longer than I expected
Yep.
Muse to last.
Yep.
There's an argument to take Fanatical off of them because I don't think they last long enough.
Yep.
But then I was thinking about Tactical Scrambler on Tavson. So I keep
okay.
the ties behind Tavson. So if he's trying to get rid of those ties beforehand, because what he wouldn't do was shoot Tavson.
No.
But if Tavson's there,
Yep.
with his arc pointing, you're not going to get shot. But if I've got the ties like hovering behind,
Yep.
then Tactical Scrambler just
Yeah.
gives me that extra dice.
Yeah. Pop
And
it
it's
on the
2
table.
points, so it might be worth
Yep. And
looking
you
at
can
that.
get baffle.
Yeah. Well, Baffle's not hyperspace legal,
Okay.
so
Get baffling extended.
yeah. I know, I might do that. But I'm going to
you
fly
can really
that.
break
I'm going
the
to fly
game.
that on Sunday. I've decided. So that I flew it, and I enjoyed it enough to fly it on Sunday.
Cool.
So that's what I'm going to do.
Very
so
good.
thank you. So yeah.
Stop watching the stream while you're driving, Ben.
So yeah, that's all good. So Dave, it's Dave and Tim. Lee's not turned up,
Okay,
unfortunately.
so we're going to take a little break.
Yeah, take a little break, get set up, and then it's me and whoever in the booth. How are you feeling, Ryan, by the way?
I'm doing all right, boss. I'll stick around.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. So
Okay.
me and Ryan in
So
the booth.
thank you very much for listening. Thank you for hearing us talk nonsense and try and give you opinions about X-Wing and stuff.
Yeah, give us
And
some
We're
money.
going to take a little break.
Some
Apparently
people-
I'm
yeah,
playing on
X-Wing Time
stream.
Wars did
I'm going to
tip
play
the game.
Dave.
Thank you.
Battle of Veterans.
Battle
Yeah,
of the
the
Veterans.
veterans. It's a veteran
So
off.
yeah, a little bit of a preview for October, obviously. So yeah, so we'll catch you later. Thank you very much. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Go and make a cup of tea if you want to. If you have to. I mean, yeah.
Next button up.
I don't know what I'm pressing. We've discovered I
The
can't use
glowing light.
technology.
Oh, yeah, so it's
Press
the one
the
with the red
light.
light.
That one,
And
yeah.
then when you press it, it flashes.
Okay, so I've muted it now.
No, you
That's
haven't.
muted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally muted.
It's really muted.
There's a crowd out there
all
tonight. It's
muted.
rubbish, isn't it?
Right, we'll be back in a minute.
Welcome back to Tuesday Night Fly Casual. Wow, hasn't Tim... Oh no, they can't see it.
They can't see Tim's beautiful
I'm seeing
head
the
that
monitor
we
screen, and we can see Tim, who actually looks like a bit of a thug.
He does a bit, doesn't he?
Do you know what?
Proper skinhead.
Let me just transition that across and then go back, just so you can sort of have a little flash there.
Oh,
Did you see
you
that?
tease.
I know, you tease.
don't know if the internet
So,
saw.
I am Steve Theobald. I'm back for commentary on this game.
Are you the guy with the cape?
Did you miss me?
Yeah.
Always.
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 I am joined by my main man Ryan Sharp
Hello.
and Neil Jagger.
Yes.
Yes,
all true.
indeed. I think we're going to see Rasta come in at some point, so
He'll probably come in and
be
shout.
prepared for that.
Brappity 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 brap. Rasta's backing the house. Ha ha.
And there's the door slam. And,
Perfect timing.
but
As if by magic.
I would actually say that was more of a mic drop than a door slam.
Yeah, it wasn't my job. I should have left, shouldn't I? I should have just gone,
Bye-bye.
hello, bye bye.
Def Rain, hi mate. So let's transition across and what she's got. You do not know what lists these guys have got. I mean, Tim Marsden.
I've played.
Let's
I played.
It's
Tim's,
an all Empire affair tonight.
I played Tim earlier.
Can I pinch that chair for 10 minutes and then I'll give it back to you, Brian?
Yeah,
You
go on.
beautiful, handsome man.
I had it last game.
God, just for 10 because my back is done.
It's all good, boss.
I've been in the garden.
It's all good, boss.
I've
Yeah,
been in
I-
garden.
I played that list of Tim's
Played with it or against it?
against it.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I'm sorry I've been away for a few weeks, but I've been very ill in many respects. So, oh my God, sorry. I've broken
Comes in at 5
I've
seconds.
broken the rulers.
Rexter plays.
Oh my
Oh
lord.
God, I'm so
I
sorry.
need to glue that back.
I mean,
Have you seen those before?
Yeah, I've got Matt made me a set. Lewis Adam made them years ago, same sort of thing, and it's got weekend
Oh,
orders.
yeah.
So
Yours has got the number one People's Champ or something.
People's Champion. whatever.
But have you seen?
Hello, Frick. Hello, everyone.
These are like our proper commentary team ones.
They're beautiful. They're absolutely. Matt
They're-
Witham's
it's like-
just
They are
Me, Tim,
stuff is something else.
He did them for me, Tim, and Ryan, which was
Yes.
all good. Sorry, Jag, you were
Yeah,
saying.
so-
Sorry.
I mean, my obviously because my list is very different from Dave's. I
Yeah.
got 3 Vipers. You don't actually really want to shoot at anything apart from the shuttle because he just stresses you. And then when you're stressed, Sloan kicks in. You get re-rolls. and
Yeah.
it's a bit of a nightmare. And obviously Vipers, well, the way I run Vipers is they
Yeah.
spend a lot of their time stressed
Yeah.
because they're the booster barrel rolling into focus to stress.
Yeah.
La la la. So it was a nightmare for me because you kind of not really using your list to full whack. And okay, you can one shot an academy pilot, nice and easy, but then you're double stressed.
Yeah. And you
Not
can't
doing
do
anything.
anything.
You can't do anything.
Yeah.
And next turn you're in real trouble. So I struggled against it quite heavily.
Yeah.
I didn't
Well,
get a
I
lot
think
done.
you're right. Lists
What against
that-
the Desies?
No, against
No,
Tim's.
against Tim's list.
So
Obviously the Desis are going to not worry.
looking
so
at it on
much.
paper, I know Sloane's like a real, and you are right. You do need to kill Sloane. Like, and Tim's list's a really good list for taking apart these Desies. However, I know Dave, and Dave flies Rear Admiral Chirinu really, really well. And if he does it right, it's not as easy as this looks on paper, because he's got pilot skill over everyone. And do they have a built-in boost on?
No.
They have no reposition.
They have no reposition.
No.
Trick shot ground cruiser.
Just for bow tie arc.
He's got to play the range game. I personally would have brought bigger rocks. So those 3 big rocks, Dave's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because Tim's flying obviously a sort of a mini swarm in effect with a shuttle
Well,
to back
6
it up.
ships. I mean that's
Then
Nothing to sniff at.
small rocks. I'm guessing are probably the flavour of the day for that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean also all my Vipers have collision detectors.
Yeah.
So small rocks are like you're not getting anything out
Yeah.
because they're just too easy to miss.
Yeah.
So I struggled against it.
I get what you're saying, PJ, but you got to remember it's about that because he does have pilot skill over him. You know, if he reads the board right and he can pick those shots, if he can isolate one just at those extremities of range. With Vader, with Hotshot Gunner, that's really clever. Hotshot Gunner's really like big bang in 2.0. When you're stripping that focus off someone and you're leaving them naked, you'd be amazed how like one of those alpha squadrons or one of those academies could go pop even at range 3, especially with something like trick shot kicking in.
Yeah.
You know, so and that trick shot 4 dice, strip the focus,
Yeah.
the other one shoots. If he's maintaining, if he can get him to that point where he kites one just out, and you know, for a few turns he gets those sort of engages,
Yeah.
kills 1 or 2 ships, I don't think it's winnable from Tim's side of the table.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Also,
I
I
mean,
think stress is going to be less of an issue, especially with Shirino, because he's got Grand Inquisitor and Darth Vader. So being stressed, you can still spend your force.
yeah, I think he'll use Vader. Please correct me if I'm way off the mark here, but in this game, I think he might use Vader to just chip away some damage at some of those ties while shooting something else.
Yep. Or
Yeah,
you
yeah,
got
Just strip
you,
tokens.
you need
Yeah.
to look at it like
With
this,
that
right?
hot shot, you can strip 2 tokens.
So imagine, yeah, exactly. He gets to range 2. Let's say he's got an obstructed shot, so he's rolling 4 dice at you.
Yeah.
He's got you in arc with Vader. So he goes, right, so that TIE interceptor, are you getting rid of your focus token or are you taking 1 point of damage?
Yeah.
Leaving me with just 2 points, and I've got at least 4 dice coming at you.
Yeah.
That's without the other decimator shooting. Suddenly, that double strip mechanic with hot shot, so you either take the damage,
Yeah.
you're losing that focus one or the other.
Yeah.
It's really bad. That's
Yeah.
a really clever combo.
Yeah. Because you could argue that they kind of do similar mechanics,
They absolutely do.
you know. So why would you need that similar mechanic?
But when you combine them together, you're then putting your opponent in such a hard
Yeah.
place. You're saying get rid of your token, or get rid of your token and take a damage.
Yeah. Death Rain, just a slight tangent. Death Rain saying, how cool is Rasta? How cool is Leia?
Oh, dude. I was playing Leia before the points drop. Leia's amazing, and having a Falcon back on the table is probably one of my happiest experiences over the past few months. Am I beaming, ain't I?
Yeah.
It's a Falcon with an X-wing, and
Yeah.
I know it was Wedge, but Luke's just a bit too expensive
Well,
with Supernatural now.
He's the better Luke, isn't he?
Well, I don't know about that. But my point is I had a legitimately
Yeah. when you're
usable list which combined a Millennium Falcon and an X-wing. So 2 ships, the most iconic ships from the film as a rebel pilot, and I've got a list that actually works. It takes some flying. We both said we enjoyed that game
Yeah, I
because
really,
it was about
really enjoyed
flying.
that. Yeah, it was.
It was a lot of fun.
I had the thing for me about that was the kind of mix I had of sort of quick ships in recoil, kind of semi-quick, but I can slow them down if I want in the 2 TIFOs, and then the plodder, just trying to control a little bit. I know you didn't take a shot at him. You know, players that aren't as good as you, and there ain't that many to be fair, they would have actually gone for him first. Which
Or the
didn't-
big boy.
Yeah.
I was never interested in
two
putting
damage
even
on
a
that
shot in.
thing, and you're in arc. I'm focused target locking.
Oh no, I'm in so much trouble.
And I've got 4 dice. Range 1 is 5 dice coming at you.
Well, you saw me barrel roll
Yeah,
and not have any mods just because I didn't want to take that shot.
Yeah.
You can't put yourself
yeah,
in front of 4 dice.
yeah. And I think it's those little things there that make the difference between a really good player and a top end player. Do you know what I mean? Like being able to see the threat of what goes
Yeah, I mean,
on.
it's
Again, Jack,
Yeah.
but you've identified straight away on Rear Admiral Chirinu, the Vader hot shotgunner is a massive threat. You know.
Thank you, John. Evening, brother.
Thank you, John, mate. I appreciate that. Yeah, sorry, dude. What were you going to say?
I can't remember now.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's really
I agree,
important.
Death
Yeah, yeah.
Rain. Upsilon is basically a no-fly zone arc. It's too dangerous.
Well, there's
Even that last shot against Han, it was like, oh my god, he's got the shot with it.
Yeah.
And because I was thinking about going slow with Wedge and S-looping over Wedge to stay
Yeah.
away from it. It's just terrifying, that gun.
thinking about it, I shouldn't have reinforced because I was trying to control damage if you were going to get shot.
You
at
couldn't
me.
have got. You could have
I
taken the
should have-
focus.
I should have focused.
That was actually mentioned on stream.
Yeah.
Rather than take me reinforced.
Because
But I think
would
at
have
that
hit-
point,
hit
I
with more on that.
probably would have maybe tried to shoot it off you.
Yeah, but that's cool because I would have taken the damage and then took it back. Do you know
No,
what I
I
mean?
can't.
Well, I
Can't
can.
perform the same action twice in any round.
Okay, well I'll target. I'll still get the target lock.
Right, no, but you get what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
I'm-
there's
no, no, yeah,
other
yeah.
options involved, but yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It was one of those, and the last shot of the game, I had to. I absolutely had to try and get half points on hand
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because I'd done the maths, and if I'd have done that, I think I worked it out in my head that I was going to win by 6 points if I had a half pointed hand.
Probably would have.
Yeah. So it's pretty close. You know, the game's pretty close, and it was.
Oh yeah.
I love the cat and mouse of recoil.
Well, even if
That
you
was
were-
great.
even
And
if you just-
recoil and wedge.
Even if you're just
know.
looking at the points you actually scored, I mean, what Russ has scored like 89 points. You scored about 36.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not a massive.
No, there's nothing in it. There's
Not a massive
nothing
gap
in it.
anyway.
Yeah.
So I mean,
The trick is with like the list I was using was you kind of like I can't think of the word. You balance off your time left in the game with how aggressive or
Yeah.
how much you need to commit.
Yeah.
Because ultimately the list I'm using is very similar to Han Jake.
Yeah.
I want to pick my moments. I want to do some crisp damage. I just want to stay above you and make you have to come to me continually
Yeah.
because you're playing catch up. And it is that balancer. And I even said to Dave, I was like, basically, it's too late now for Steve. He's got me a good position now,
Yeah.
but it's just one turn
Yeah.
too late
Yeah. You're
because
right.
the game's over. And I know I can probably take this pounding that's coming with the evades and this, that, and the other,
Yeah.
and just stay just at that point.
Yeah, and that was cool. And do you know, not a lot of people know this.
a lot of people know this.
Michael Caine. But do you remember that tournament in Sutton in Ashfield, in the old church,
Yep.
right, where I made top table, and I lost it because of that exact thing that you've just said.
And I've said to
I
you,
run
didn't
out
I,
of
at the
time.
end?
You took me outside and you absolutely tore it. Not tore into me. That's not fair. But you were very forthright.
No, and I
in
told you
what
straight.
said.
You lost that game
And
because
the next
of that,
tournament I played and I got to top table,
and you won.
I won it. So it's little things like that which I didn't consider, and I knew.
You gave him the points. You rushed
Yeah,
him when you'd been
yeah.
winning.
I knew it was. I knew when because you said, "Oh, how long's left?" and I said 10 minutes out there. Yeah, and I knew 10 minutes. I thought, right, I've now got to be a bit more aggressive.
Maybe
and I looked
two
at
turns.
yeah, and I looked at my board position, and I thought, right, the Upsilon's out of position. I'm chasing with one of the TIE fighters, Scorch, which is all right because I'm getting 3 dice every time, which was quite nice. Muse died, and I had to get recoil back in, so I could have 5-forwarded and boosted with recoil, but I had that.
Yeah.
You know, it wouldn't have got me far enough into the middle of the board to even get shots on hand.
Yeah.
So I had to do the hard one and then
Yeah.
you know go forward. So it was cool. I really enjoyed it and I learned a lot, which was
The cargo
The main
shoot
thing.
slowed you down
yeah, it did.
a lot.
Yeah, yeah,
I needed to shut that door
yeah,
and stop you being able to bring that big thing
yeah.
and get in your face with it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And do you know what? I think 4 ships. It's the first time I've really flown 4
Yeah,
ships, and I think that I got a little bit of a bug for it in the Yavin tournament we had here
Yeah.
when I flew the TIE Swarm. So Inferno Squadron with Howl Runner and Wampa, which was actually really cool.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
totally
yeah.
did my head in. You know, from a
Swarms
position
are always
point
going
of
to be that way though.
view. Yeah, yeah,
Until you get your head round them, they are a nightmare.
yeah, yeah,
But when you do get your head round them, they are quite fun.
yeah. yeah.
Dave's just
Cool.
going to go and joust
I
them
think
like
so.
a lunatic.
But he's got intimidation on Oiken, so
I get that, but see now what Tim's done. Tim is like using the tactic of shutting down the table. He's
Yeah.
bullying the board right now.
Yeah.
That's why he's brought those interceptors in from the flank
yeah,
to like go. Here's my joust
yeah,
right in front of you, and if you try and turn away from it, the interceptors are going to get in your way next turn
Yeah.
and make it very hard for you to continue running.
yeah,
And the minute you're running, you're in trouble
yeah.
because they're all coming from everywhere.
Because what I think what
Do you know which desk is which?
That one's obviously
Tyranny.
Tyranny because it's got the
bottom
force
one's rack.
charges next to it.
Yeah.
Oh, but I was right,
bottom,
right.
yeah.
So racks at the bottom.
Yeah, racks at the bottom.
so internet land. Thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Just to let you know, there are not many, but a few tickets left for this weekend. You know, maybe 3 or 4. That's about it.
I'm in.
On both days. I'm in as well. You're here.
I'm here.
Is World Champ here?
A world champs here both days.
Yeah. So if you can get up to us, even if you just can't make it the tournament, and you're passing the area, drop in. We'd love to see you. And it's Weekend Warlords. You know, it's the spiritual home of UK X-wing.
Self-proclaimed.
Yeah. No. It's absolutely. There is not just us saying that.
Oh, fair enough then.
There's guys from all over the county and
If we,
country
if we could reference other people, man, that's
that,
fine.
that actually make the pilgrimage.
Guys,
No, I'm good.
I can't eat no more.
It's the
sure?
pilgrimage. Yeah.
Chips, chicken wing.
Chippies.
Mangiamo un po'.
So you know, if you,
Yay, Mr. Spurgey.
yeah, Paul's up both days. Johnny Cannon's down both days.
See, he's. I'm not sure about Dave's setup at the start.
Or is he going to move away now with Chirinu? Is he going to bank away and side up?
Brought a ticket, but not on the list.
Well, just email John Ulfric and he'll add you. There's actually something on the Warlords page about the lists that people are flying, and there's a little trail underneath there which people are saying I'm not on the list, I should be, and John's actually gone on and fixed everything, so make sure that you actually email him. PJ say you should be able to
Awesome,
make March or May.
PJ.
So we've got events on our page as well up until May.
We've got the events on up until the end of the season.
I don't know whether they've just done it all yet.
Oh, have they not?
No,
But that
I
was
think
the
they've done
plan.
it to May. Yeah, the plan is to get them up to the end of the veteran season.
End of the veteran season, which is like October.
Yeah, which is going to be awesome. That veterans tournament's shaping up to be proper awesome. You know, really
Mate, it's
good.
going to be incredible.
Yeah.
The room's just going to be insane.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. And I might sneak in the back door with an MOV thing, which is always nice. And doing it only playing one tournament a weekend, unlike Mr. Bellamy, who's doing it with two tournaments.
Is it my papa's birthday?
It is. Oh yeah, I forgot. I mentioned it on Facebook.
Papa
earlier.
Rex, happy birthday! Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday, dear Captain Rex!
The clone of all the clones.
Happy birthday to you!
Clone of clones.
And many more. Why do people say that bit?
I don't know.
Happy birthday, pups!
It's almost like
so
saying
they
happy
wish you
birthday.
don't die.
Yeah,
They
happy
just
birthday,
say,
but
and I
don't
hope
die.
you don't die.
And please don't die. Is that sort of thing?
Basically,
In effect.
I've
But
been
in a
known
nice
to say-
way.
I've been known to
it's
say
better
that
than
as
them
a
going
goodbye.
happy birthday.
Yeah, well, I
I
mean-
hope it's your last. You know what I mean?
That ain't going to work, is it?
But I've been known
You
to
know.
say that as a farewell. Don't die.
Have you said that
No,
before?
I've actually said that to people.
Wow. And if they did,
You're
you'd go, I told
you're
you
a
not to.
colourful and complex and interesting character.
Yeah.
I have my moments.
Well, I like it.
We like it.
People tend to look a bit confused.
Right, some dice happening. That looked like some blank dice from Dave then. Some hugely blank dice.
Tim's waving a ruler about, sticking his
That
head
looked
under
like,
the camera.
that looked like Dave just muffed 2 shots. I
What's he
think he
got?
did, man.
Come on, Tim. What have we got? What have we got?
Look at Tim. But up.
Oh, look.
Straight out of hand.
He's been doing that all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what's he done there? Has he spent
Tim,
the force?
nice but dim.
And Kay's got a friend who says don't die as a farewell as well.
Don't die.
While we're watching these dice being rolled,
Oh, some blanks.
did you
Good. Very
guys
free.
do the dad joke section in the last game?
Sorry, but no.
Just the one.
Dad joke time, guys.
Brap! An evade! An evade a Rooney. Sorry.
It's all right, man. You commentate, and I'll just do the.
I
the
was just
fluffy
trying to
stuff.
keep up, see what happening. So it's TIE Fighters next. Oh, God, bloody shiny, shiny, shiny. That looks like 2 with a focus.
Oh no. What we got there?
No, no, you just picked him and re-rolled
Yeah,
it.
it's 2 with a focus. Can you
Oh,
go
no,
into...
there we go.
There we go.
One.
Thanks, Tim! God, commentator, and he don't even know how to put his dice on dice cam. That's definitely 1, that
I
looks
know.
like. But it's
One
a crit.
crit.
Oh, it don't matter.
Stun pirate.
That would have been really bad if that was old Stun Pilot on
Yeah.
Intimidation Oiken.
Yeah.
What can Oiken do now? He's different, isn't it? Is it if he bumps into you, he can still shoot at you?
It specifically says you can shoot at range band 0.
Right, okay.
Here we go. Here's the first dad joke. My uncle's a lion tamer. When he went bankrupt, they nearly took everything, but at least he's still got his pride.
Haha, I like it. I like it, I like it.
We do this every week. We do a little dad joke section.
I
every
like
week,
it, I like it.
Which, do you know, despite my serious nature, if you believe that, you believe anything, I actually really enjoy it as much as I shouldn't.
That's really bad, Kate.
Okay,
It's
the
not
rotation of
funny,
the Earth is great, isn't
and
it?
like it's a joke that you've had to write down, and I still can't work it out. It took a while, so no, that I think that goes in just the bad jokes
So I
category, not the
yeah,
dad jokes.
I posted one on my Facebook wall earlier. I was reading the obituary column in the newspaper, and I was reading about double deckers, Mars bars, Lion bars. Then I realised it was a bit chewy column.
I don't know. What do you call a cow with the ground beef? Oh, it's very good. I like it. I like it.
I'm having flashbacks. I'm having flashbacks of all the like stuff like.
You know what's really annoying as well? Scarlett told me like half a dozen really corny dad jokes the other day, and some of them were and I can't remember a bloody one of them.
It's like, I'm getting flashbacks of all like, what do you call a guy with a spade in his head?
Doug.
Doug.
Yeah.
What do you call a guy without a spade in his head?
Douglas.
Douglas. What do you call a guy with a seagull on his head?
Cliff.
See, the thing is, you've got to think for dad jokes. I have a thing for Chuck Norris jokes. I love Chuck Norris jokes.
Yeah. Okay, there was a guy found dead in an ice cream van the other day, covered in cream, hundreds and thousands, chopped nuts, the lot. I reckon he topped himself.
No, that's good. That was a good one. That was beyond dad joke.
Yeah,
that was a good joke.
We love that joke.
Yeah, that was a good joke.
I just thought of another one. I can't remember it. What do you call a cow with Tourette's? Is this PG?
Yeah. Moo, moo, moo.
Beef jerky. Why was the broom late for school? It did too much sweeping. Okay, didn't quite get that.
No, I'm not following that one.
I met my wife at the dance. I thought she was at home with the kids.
Oh! It's only my foot. Chill out.
Dad, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I'm Dad.
That's a classic. That one.
What do you call a girl standing behind
like that one.
A Star Wars joke that I read in a book.
Yeah,
go on.
yeah.
Go on,
Why
James.
did the Ewok fall out of the tree? Because he was dead.
What do you call Postman Pat when he retires?
Man pat.
Pat.
Pat Man?
That's Mark. Hello, Mark.
Yeah,
He
hello,
was in
Mark.
earlier.
He's always got a different woman, isn't he?
Yeah,
Oh, Mark.
yeah.
Whoa, he gets through him.
There it is. Pat.
Oh, all right, Mark. You and your cleverness. Just because you got cybernetics, mate, don't come on here and start bullying everyone.
What do you call a woman playing pool with a pint of beer on her head?
Perfect.
Beatrix Potter.
Perfect.
Oh, man.
Yeah, perfect.
That's horrible.
3 foot tall and a flat head.
Who's the guy?
Sorry, have I started?
Yeah, well,
What, I can say 3 foot tall
with a flat head.
with a flat head?
You can.
Nothing
You
wrong
just
with
can't
that.
mention groins. Who's the guy lying on your
What, you
front
mean
porch?
those... Oh, yeah. You mean those things that they have in piers at the seaside? Groins.
Groins?
Yeah.
What are they?
They're groins, you know, the bits of wood
Are they
called groins.
I didn't know what happened then. I went all like Bugs Bunny on that.
What'd you say back?
No. Cool. So I'm not sure whether Tim actually did as much damage as he'd hoped to in that. But nothing.
I don't know. He did 6 damage for nothing in
Yeah,
return.
but nothing. Yeah, he's taken no damage in return.
This is the problem, and like I don't think Dave's approach was great. I don't know
well, no,
what he's thinking now.
Oiken's going to bump
Yeah,
now,
but-
which is
But Eifen's not going to bump. Whoever he bumps, he's getting shot at by a lot of other ships.
yeah.
Oh my
Mate,
God,
that's oh my God, Paul Schaller, that's awesome.
My uncle used to circumcise elephants for a living. The pay was bad, but the tips were enormous. What do Mexicans put under their carpets? Underlay. a dyslexic man walks into a bra. I told my wife I'd found a job in a bowling alley. Temping, she asked. No, a permanent position.
I thank you.
I like that.
Tommy Cooper, right?
I took a saxophone lesson for 6 months until I dislocated my jaw. How did I know I was supposed to blow in the small end? There you go.
So-
Tommy Cooper does jokes on Weekend
So
Warlords.
Oiken's cloak then.
Yep. Stuff device.
Eifen's cloaked.
No, he's got stuff
look,
device.
Oiken.
Ah, right. Vanished.
So welcome back, Ruster.
Yeah, hello.
That's actually
That's
something-
actually amazing.
So a nice little picture of a TIE fighter there, Death Rain. Why is Ruster doing? All the young people are going. Why is Ruster doing that weird? That's
That's because they haven't met me.
that's not his weird voice. That's actually him relaxed his voice. The Cockney kind of bravado is just the act.
It's like going into Spoon Jar Jar.
Darling, listen. You know, when I talk properly, people won't take me seriously because they think I'm advantaged and I've been brought up with a silver spoon in my mouth. So I find it much easier to bring myself down to the guttural level of these oiks and just speak to them in a language they understand.
I like it.
You know?
What, everything's bear peng?
Oh, totally.
What does that actually mean?
I don't know.
Bear
Peng apparently means good.
Yeah,
yes,
so does
it
bear.
does.
Is that-
It also
is-
means a lot.
Is that like lit?
Yes.
I'm hoping we're going to have something to eat afterwards. I've even got a babysitter for my dogs, so I don't have to bring them. So that if we can go out to have something to eat afterwards, we will. If not, maybe John will let us order a few pizzas at the store for an hour or so.
Yeah.
Whatever, because you know Nando's can be a real pain in the boom hole.
Yeah. They never let us in, do they?
Oh, they're a nightmare. They're a nightmare.
So we took our trade elsewhere,
Hey,
and it was quite positively the worst experience.
it was terrible.
Where'd you go?
What was it? It was a
It
burger
was
place.
it was that burgery place across the road from Nando's. Fenway's.
Oh, Fenway.
Oh
Yeah.
my god,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was bad.
Never going again.
Never.
So it's actually a bit of a monumental day that Dave Amos isn't actually flying Suntair. I don't think I've never seen him not fly Suntair.
Oh no, I have.
No, he used to do the two Desi
He
thing
used
quite a
to-
lot at one point.
he loves a Desi though, does Dave? Dave loves it, and he's really good with a Desi. What was that?
I was listening to some old reggae the other day, and a Cockney translator by Smiley Culture came on. I'm pretty sure that's actually Rasta's experiences living in the north.
Hang on a minute.
It's probably right.
When they say living in the north, we're not
That's
the
north of the M25.
Oh,
mate.
dude,
We're not the
listen,
north.
listen to me, sweetheart.
We're not the north.
No,
Listen,
no.
listen to me,
That's
you
a- that's-
coal mining
That's,
We're in the north.
that's
down
such a
the
Midlands
pit.
thing to say,
Yes.
old boy.
No, I don't
northern
care.
monkey.
We are not northern.
If you are further north, basically.
Than Watford Gap.
No, whoa! That's like going to Antarctica, Watford.
Toddington is as far as Scotland.
I'm talking basically the M25. It should be, you know, like at a Running Man. It's electrified, and if you leave as a Londoner, you have to have your neck bracelet switched
A
off.
lot of pain. Four out of hand.
Davey's in a terrible.
I'm looking
position.
forward to eating one of Rasta's dial covers. What are you on about? Eat it. Oh, that's all free. Do you know what? That's fair. If that's what you want to do, son, that's what you want to do.
You know, whatever floats your boat.
I prefer to use them as fridge magnets.
Do you know what? It's not a bad idea though to try and have like a mould, a cake baking mould made. It's special rubber, I think you need though.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they're a bit thin though.
Watford isn't even.
What?
No,
The
no.
cakes?
Watford isn't the Midlands.
No, Watford isn't the Midlands, but as
Thick
far as
bread.
anyone that is born and bred and raised in the south of Englandshire, mainly in Londonshire, anything out of the M25 is considered up north. I certainly believed that before I ever left.
It's the Midlands.
No, but we don't know that.
We're big enough to have the East and West. We've got our own
Tim's
BBC.
dice are ridiculous.
Listen, just because you're awesome and I like you all now, doesn't mean you have to
What do you
keep
mean
banging
now?
on about it.
What do you mean now?
What do you mean?
I like you all now.
I do. It took me a while to like
I did it.
Northerners. Yeah. Because
Oh, Northern. I thought you meant us.
We're not
No,
Northerners.
not you lot.
Hold on a minute.
See, the other thing is though, is that Northerners think
No,
we're
no,
Southerners.
none of it's. No, I think Lincoln's kind of like a bit of a niche case though, because it's just so white and just east.
Lincoln.
It's
There's
yeah.
something about the East Coast
It,
that it's just a bit of like I don't know, London's
well, it's
seaside.
kind of just in from the east.
Lincoln's
coast.
weird. It's like a
not,
country
it's
all
not
of its own.
Midlands. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
on
think
a
it
big
is-
hill.
I think it is technically East Midlands.
What, Lincoln?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
PJ
what
PJ's from Lincoln. You can tell us that.
What
can't
shire
you?
is it?
What shire?
Yeah.
Lincolnshire.
Of course it is.
It's just,
I can't believe I
just
just
the
asked that
most
question.
stupid question anyone's ever
Wow.
asked.
What shire is Leicester?
I did think it was a very vague Lord of the Rings reference, to be fair.
But yeah,
Honestly, PJ, like no disrespect to anyone from London. I was born in London, in the sand of the Bow Bells. I grew up there, spent a lot of time, but I wouldn't go back if you gave me all the tea in China. I love not living in London. The people outside of London are specially amazing. And that ain't because the people in London are rubbish, it's because you live in London.
And
And living in London is just not a nice experience in general.
the air's cleaner up here.
Oh, mate, it's just people are nicer. Like I said, I like you all now because at the start I just assumed you were all like the people in London,
Yeah.
and everyone I encountered would want to have a fight, mug me, something like that. So I just walked around with my angry face on for a good few years,
Yeah.
until I realised that the people saying good morning to me just wanted to say good morning. It wasn't a gateway into a mugging. That old lady with her poodle
Yeah.
wasn't.
Going to stab you.
No,
It's
No.
true.
Fair.
They tend not to.
it took a while.
What, the poodle?
Yeah,
Well, you
no,
never can tell a
Poodle
Kate,
can hold a knife.
certainly when I was young as well, there was no better place to go nightclubbing. And yeah, if you got loads of money, but do you know what? Standard day-to-day living there. I used to run a building firm in London. Used to like do a 15-mile journey. It'd take me 2.5 hours each way. No, I can't do that no more. And everyone just wants to fight you at every turn, and no one to let you out. It's just the pressures of squeezing that many people into such a small space that it is, and like driving around London's really hard now. It's all 20s. You can't. I can't go and visit my mum and
put-
dad no more
they put a
during
load
the
of-
week.
they put
I
plant
can only
pots in there,
go
don't they?
from 6 o'clock Saturday evening until Sunday night. That's the only time I can visit my mum and dad, because they can't get permits for me to actually park my car outside a house they've owned for 40 years.
Yeah. What's that? I had that experience too, Ruster.
Oh,
Travelling
Black
to, I was going to say,
Makes a lot more sense.
Makes a
Different
lot more
stores.
sense, and it's not a Liam Neeson moment.
Well, yeah.
Travelling to different stores across the UK, I realise people can be quite nice to each
Yeah,
other when they're
not rat racing. Totally agree with you, bro.
As a non-Londoner going into London, I hate it.
Yeah,
As
despise it.
a Londoner that's left London and his mother and father still live there, I literally can't bear more than a single night stop, and then I have to leave. Just the drive from the M1 to my mum and dad's, that North Circular battle, will be enough where I'm like, I have to get out of here, because I'm either going to kill someone or someone's going to kill me.
Seeing bouncers in McDonald's at London's King's Cross is interesting. Saying
but
that,
we
saying
get
that
bouncers
though,
in
yeah, yeah.
We do
But
get
there's-
bouncers up here too, believe it or not, in McDonald's. I don't know what McDonald's just has gone down the toilet.
It's not
Well,
that. It is now
remember-
a local hangout for, shall we say, the hoodies.
Oh, the hoodies.
Yeah.
the,
just-
the rapscallions.
But
Yeah,
do you
they
know
just
the
hang around
answer with the
outside.
hoodies?
Give them something to do.
Hug them.
yeah.
That's,
Hug a-
that's the physical
Hug a
side.
hoodie.
Hug a hoodie, everything could be alright.
Yeah,
I think
you-
Dave's
you
clearly
can't,
got
You can't
this.
see the knife coming then.
Yeah, true. Well,
Yeah, Dave's going to solo this whole thing.
no, he's not.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
He's not.
So
Bless his
worked in
little
London for 10 years, fun times, but wouldn't live there. Actually looking to relocate to Lincolnshire. That's Mr. Spurgeon. So. Or as I called him the other week, Mr. Sturgeon.
Hey!
Which
Do you know, it is a shame because
mighty Sturgeon.
because years ago there was a real culture. There was, you know, the real East End of London. There was the Barrow Boys, and there was still some community there 20, 25 years ago. It's changed, unfortunately, and I don't think that's a reflection on the people. I think that's just a reflection on city living.
Yeah.
If you go to Birmingham, knockabout in the centre, there's some horrible bits.
yeah.
But London
Same in
is
Coventry, dude.
London is a special animal.
Yeah.
And it's somewhat special to a lot of cities I've been to. But yeah, London's hardcore.
I didn't like Derby. Not a fan of Derby.
Really? Derby's so quaint and lovely.
Yeah.
I'll be in a city bit, as in like the town
Well,
centre. bit.
there's
It's
little
just-
spots.
but then
There's a spot called Normanton where they put all the poor people.
But
in
then there's like a donut around it, which is horrible.
Is that where Kev lives?
What? Kev?
Normanton.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was going to say, you remember Nerfurder
Mm-hmm.
when we went for McDonald's after Nerf? There's bouncers on the door then, in that one just down the road.
Oh no, mate.
Yeah, it just seems any kind of suburb or big
Last
city or
time
anything
I
like
was
that.
on a tube, I had a punch up, Death Rain, because some big man decided to use me as an armrest. He wasn't quite as tall after we'd had a conversation, but that was the last time I got on a tube. I can't do it.
Talking of Death Rain, have
Can't
you
do
still
it.
got his photo next to your bed?
I've got, in fact, your photo now has got a place on my wall in my man cave. It's got a proper living spot.
Has it?
Because I don't sleep in my shed anymore. I sleep in a bed now.
Oh
in a
right, yeah,
house.
nice.
So, yeah, I don't say goodnight to you anymore, unfortunately. But when I watch a movie, you're there next to me, bro. What was that long one? As a Hungarian,
That's Laszlo.
yeah, I know who
Yeah.
Sawa is. As a Hungarian who lived in the capital and moved to the UK Midland, as a sister lived in London for years, I can't stand London even. I can't visit sis on a Friday. Mate, it's ridiculous what they've done with like you not being able to go and visit or stop the car or anything like that now. And then my dad was saying they've put this thing in where if you have a diesel car, now
Yeah.
that you have to pay like £15 a day just to drive it, even if you don't go in the congestion zone. Like the whole M25 ring or something. They're being really evil. So 10 years ago they went, all go out and buy a diesel.
Yeah.
And now they're going, all of you that brought a diesel, we're going to ruin you for it.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Is that on Tim?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if he doesn't...
Yeah, direct hit. It's gone.
Boom.
Sloan will double stress him now, though, yeah?
Yeah.
Does it work for killing?
No, it doesn't work on Sloan.
Well, now that Sloan's gone.
Oh, no, it doesn't. He doesn't get the stress for killing Sloan.
No,
Fine.
and also
The
because
ship
Sloan's
carrier.
gone, you won't get any rerolls.
Right? The problem is, though, Dave is sitting on 12 health and
That's
all
not
of
five
those
ships.
ships are pointed at him. And
That's a lot of shots.
without the engine all reposition, I think he's going to struggle to get any kind of...
There's also no
Ground.
shields on rack.
Well, he's reinforced the rear as well. So he's mitigating damage.
Well, that will help a little, yeah, but
No, but
No,
do you
still-
know what,
still
PJ?
takes-
It's really not me condemning like all people in London at all. There are some lovely, lovely people in London. It's just city living. I think, and also when you grow up in that environment, you do get told like the rest of the world doesn't exist, and you think that everyone is just under those pressures, and then you come out and you move to a place where people aren't, and it's really kind of like a breath of fresh air when you grew up in it.
Yeah. No-
Good, I'm glad
no
he
damage.
missed. Come on, Dave. I want Dave to claw back a little bit.
Well, he's only got 1 damage through on 4 shots so far.
That's
so
good. That's what Dave needs. If they don't have a couple of good lucky turns,
it's got a disabled power regulator. Which one's that?
That don't matter. It's the ion one. He take 3.
that the ion one,
It's the next 3 engagements. Then he'll be having to move 1 forwards. But I don't see him going much faster than 1 banks, 1 and 2 hards anyway.
he needs to dodge this. You need to dodge it, Dave. Or was that a close one? Was that a close shot? That was a close shot. So Oikon's got
damage.
disabled. Oh, his hards are red.
That's not good. When I'm inside the M25, it's right so and so. Kind of grows in it.
Yeah, no, I get that, bro. And like, you met me too, huh? I ain't afraid of a heated discussion with a disgruntled driver or such and such. But what I'm saying is, his life's too short
Yeah.
to be having that as a means of just ticking over. We're not. This is not Predator.
Have you read my latest blog, by the way?
I honestly,
you've not been
I
online.
haven't been online for 3 weeks.
So I posted my latest blog yesterday. It talked about, like I normally talk about, how to treat people and what we should do if we're feeling angry and inside ourselves that maybe we shouldn't be showing that to the other person just because we've had like shit dice or bad dice,
Yeah, it's all right.
things like that. So have you read mine? Should I say yes and lie?
No, tell the
You've
truth.
kind of just said
No, I haven't read yours.
You should-
Hey, Bengar.
Come on, Dave. Is that an instruction?
Please not.
What?
So you invite. I come in, and the first thing you said to me outside, "Can I come and sit?" Oh, if you behave. And the only person that has stepped on the other side of the line so far has been you.
I've not towed it.
Yeah, no, you have.
I've
Right.
towed it.
You're meant to be leading from the front.
Am I?
Yeah, that's right. Oh, I just found a bit of spice in my throat from the chicken.
Order.
Oh, lovely.
I'm rooting for the.
I'm rooting for. I'm always going to root for the underdog. Always in a game like this.
He's got some graft ahead of him. Though,
He,
to get out of this.
if he had an engine, do you know though, Jag? If he had an engine on that Desi, this is completely doable.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't have it.
I get that. I'm just saying, if it had.
And
that
it also makes sense. I know people are going to cry about the fact that a lot of their big ships have lost the ability to boost.
I
It shouldn't have it.
it shouldn't have a hard one. Either. That just beguiles me. No, it's well, give me a hard one red on my Falcon.
Astro Boy, is that Mr. Brooks?
Don't think.
Is that you, Ash?
Astro Boy. I'm just guessing. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, how many other ashes are there?
Well, there's Bilbo Ash,
There's
there's Middle Ash,
there's Middle Ash.
Little Ash.
and
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
go
know
next
it's after the watershed, but
People won't be watching after watching this.
people wash it other times, and we got to be good because I was bad and got everyone
No.
in trouble.
Okay, so it's not Ash.
Wishbone.
That narrows it down.
Who's Wishbone Ash? Do we know who Wishbone Ash?
Who's Wishbone Ash? Ash, who are you? Astro Boy.
If you feel like giving us a little cheer as well,
Oh yeah,
drop it in.
do some cheering, everyone. Don't know why they took engine off their seat. Only thing that stopped him melting.
Well, they added
Because it's
reinforced,
just
didn't
not.
they?
It's not really. I get rules wise why people want boost on big ships and
I
stuff like
agree
that. I
with you.
get that. However, it's just not fitting to the ship that it should have a boost.
I agree. Do you know what I do, though? Come on. Let's go back to 1.0 and let's remember what Chirpy was like with an engine. He was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Art dodging everything, never get a shot on it. It was an absolute, like, almost an uphill battle.
Especially with the 360-degree turret.
Well,
No matter where
that's
you are.
one.
Then, especially then, yeah.
Just didn't
But that's
matter.
one thing that I noticed about your Falcon tonight. It's quicker than my Silence.
It should be. And that's
You know,
the
we
fluff
spoke
of it.
about
Yeah,
that,
it
didn't we?
absolutely
Yeah.
should be.
You know, it's and the Desi with
No.
a boost puts that into that similar category.
It's
I know it
half.
hasn't-
It's a base length faster than
Yeah.
your thingy bob.
Yeah. So a 4 forward boost with
Just random, not visiting
with
the shop
Han
yet. Okay, cool.
is like a 7 forward.
Well, you should
6
visit the
forward.
shop. You should get down there.
Oh.
Play some X-Wing.
It's one base.
Oh, just a random. I've not visited. You know, no one's just a random in this, mate. Welcome to Tuesday Night Fly Casual.
Yeah, welcome, Astro Boy. We love your name.
Yeah.
Although, point it out, not visited the shop yet.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Therefore,
yeah.
future should be arriving.
Yeah.
Summertime's coming, everyone. Spring's coming. No better place to have a bit of fun X-Wing than in Weekend Warlords.
Yeah. Definitely.
You remember, everyone?
It's roasted in there in the summer as well, isn't
It
it?
is roasting, and I
It's-
will
it's sweaty.
toe that line right now, Steve, by appealing to the male gamers out there. There may be one or two of you out there. This is a university town, a sports university. So all I got to say is that walk up to lunch
Yeah, but they don't come
in
in
the
there, then, do
summer. They walk up and down the
They
high
do walk
street
up
in
and down.
those yoga trousers, didn't they?
They do.
Yeah,
Dude, that ain't
keeping their bus
that ain't
pass all
nothing.
tucked away.
There's a
Right.
shop at the top of the University Hill, which I used to work in.
Yeah.
Right.
And obviously it's in the middle of the halls.
Yeah.
So you see them walking around town in their yoga gear and all that kind of stuff. Cool. Up there's nothing you don't see them in.
Bleep bleep bleep
Oh, really?
bleep bleep.
It's wow.
Well, that's that's
Just wow.
We're just,
I mean, some of it good choices, some of it bad
we're
choices.
just old though.
And onesies are always a bad choice.
Well, it depends. I've got a Wookiee.
I don't
onesie.
think I need to know about this.
No,
I
I've
haven't
got a
got.
Wookiee.
I've got a
onesie.
Wookiee house coat, and I've got
Have you?
Yoda slippers.
Have you? Nice. Yeah, I've got a Wookiee onesie.
I've got a Jedi.
and I'm not
robe
the most svelte
Oh, have you?
person.
I like that.
Yeah, they're
Except
cool.
it's not. It's literally just like
Oh,
a over
oh,
the top, like a poncho.
just because you said svelte,
Yeah.
Svelte.
can I take the opportunity to like big up myself for my weight loss?
Yeah, do it.
I was 13 stone 4 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm 11 stone 8.
Mate, that's
In how long?
awesome. Well done.
4 months.
That's
Yeah.
all right. Yeah, that's good.
You are looking pretty trim, to be
I
fair.
was just
Svelte is the word.
I mean, if you'd said like a week, I'd be a
Demure.
bit worried.
a onesie.
It's
You're
a
looking-
perfectly good substitute for
Yeah,
trousers,
totally,
a shirt,
totally.
and basic human dignity. I don't agree with that. I'd rather keep my dignity.
Well, but don't
I'm-
wear. Kay's
I'm-
saying, well, don't wear a onesie then.
I'm
But
actually.
I won't ever wear a onesie.
I'm
It's
one
quite
of those
simple.
weird people that kind of dislikes clothes quite a bit. I dislike the fact that like nakedness is frowned upon in general. I find that we wear too many clothes. We weren't born dressed. I'm all right with a bum and a boob hanging out and a whatever. If that's what you know,
Yeah.
if you're comfortable.
Onesies.
Too
mate.
much self-light bothering. I'm not bothered.
Dude, if you ever turn up in Nooked, we're gonna have a disagreement.
Nooked.
Nooked, yeah.
I'll body paint myself. That all body paint.
So Ben's saying he's nearly 2 of you.
Oh, dude, honestly, mate, I wouldn't recommend my weight loss program to anyone, but I've done it and I've got down to where I used to be when I was, my whole,
Yeah.
all of my 20s and my 30s. I'm back down to that weight. I got 2 of my 6-pack back.
How'd you, how'd
At
you
the
feel?
top.
How'd you feel?
Oh, I feel much better.
Yeah.
My back
Good.
feels better. I've got more energy and all of that.
Yeah.
And because it weren't like some weird crash diet that I did,
Yeah.
it's just become a case of me being a little bit more mindful about how I eat and what I eat and when
Yeah.
I eat.
It's discipline, isn't it?
And now it's just become like second nature. Because like I really struggled at first cutting all. No, at first I just cut all my carbs out. I'm Italian, so I
That
just.
was tough, man.
I was,
It's gotta be tough.
mate, I was so angry.
Oh, were you?
Have you ever seen that advert with like, give me back my carbs? It's
Yeah.
exactly how I felt. I just wanted to kill people.
Yeah.
Just wanted a plate of pasta. And then after quite a while, when I did finally have my plate of pasta, I realised I couldn't cope with carbs because I had them out of my diet. But now they're back in a bit, and now it's just I make sure I don't. If I ever exceed 2,000 calories in a day,
Yeah.
I've paid for it during the week because I've only had 1,000 calories one day. You always just eat a little bit. There's like a diet technique where you eat for 5, fast for 2,
Yeah.
and you can eat what you want because those 2 days make up for whatever over you basically
Yeah.
had. And mine is if I just stay under my 2,000, and if you're clever with what you eat, you can have really filling nutritional dinners that are 300-400 calories.
Yeah.
They're nothing.
Lots of salad and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, what was Ulfric's question?
They want to know about first round on Saturday.
Yeah, normally it's
So
10 o'clock,
first
isn't it?
round. So officially, it's 10 o'clock start, but 10 o'clock means it's kind of the shut off for everyone to be here. So normally first round is 10:30. Yeah, you just replace it with vegetables and fruit and nice things like that.
That is a sketchy looking Chirino though.
Yeah, he's on 3 now.
And I stopped eating really late. So I used to have my main meal at like 8, half 8, 9 o'clock. Now I'll have a main meal at 5 o'clock in the evening
Yeah.
because you've digested it.
Yeah.
That's the trick.
I find that I feel better. Do you know what? Yesterday I had soup for dinner at work.
Yeah.
And I had a little bit of pasta which I cooked myself when I got home afterwards. And I felt better than eating a massive bowl of cereal,
Yeah.
you know, just like
So
a
before-
burger or something for lunch. You just feel dirty.
Yeah, if I would have cooked a big old plate of pasta before and put it in front of me, I would have eaten it all,
Yeah.
regardless of how much was put there. Now I got to that point where I'll cook something, I'll eat it, and I'll go, I'm done.
Yeah.
And there's 3/4 of it left, and I'm like, well, it's fine, I'll heat it up
Yeah.
a bit and a bit and a bit. I've had enough. I
Yeah.
don't need to keep eating. I think when I gave up smoking, I fell so in love with the taste of food
Yeah.
that became like a
Yeah,
new
it does
drug.
taste different, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it was kind of getting that. But I've been really ill as well. I've got the worst. Half my face is falling out with toothache, and because I've got this anemia, the dentist refused to put me to sleep.
Oh, right. Okay.
So they've referred me to the hospital. So I'm looking at 10 weeks wait to have
Yeah.
a tooth that's rotten removed. So I'm on codeine solid. So I think part of the fact that I'm on painkillers all the
Yeah.
time has also lessened my appetite.
Yeah.
I think that might be a big part of it too. But then it's time in it because your body gets used to it. Your stomach shrinks, and
Yeah.
suddenly you don't want to eat the same anymore.
Yeah. Charles has said something pretty valuable there.
Yep.
Tim's showing us the value of spending points on red dice
Yep.
rather than upgrades.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, yeah, we were talking about this in the previous
Okay.
game.
Yeah.
It's just how basically, you know, if you've got X amount of red dice versus Y amount of green dice,
Yeah.
Something's gonna get through.
In some respects,
Yeah.
I agree with you, Charles, but there's also another respect which I probably strongly disagree with you. Like, I've got a double Falcon list. I've not played it. I've got it on paper. And, I'm pretty good at eyeing up what's a good list. And I think that my double Falcon list would have taken this to pieces because they both have reposition.
Yeah.
So it's not so much about... I get that he spent upgrades. They're just seriously lacking that speed.
Yeah.
Whereas actually 2 kiting ships with the right upgrades against the swarm, like I said, if you can chip it off quick,
Yeah.
get a couple down, you're in a really strong place. I don't think double Ds really work. Certainly not against this matchup. That's terrible for him.
No, I mean the points dropped.
If he was going against something like 3 aces
Yeah.
or 2 aces and a support, that'd be great. Or he can
Yeah.
come in and
Yeah.
you know they'd ruin
Big
one
base
and
blocker.
not take so much damage in return, but 5 of them.
So you know, guys up in Manchester, the Sif Takers.
Yes.
Right, they do a little podcast. It's
Okay.
called the Sif Takers Snapshot, and it's
Okay.
a 10-15 minute podcast just
Cool.
discussing stuff. It's actually really good, right? It's Will Pinter hosts it,
Awesome.
right? So they were talking about, and I was listening to it in the car on the way up here tonight. They were talking about double decimator lists, and they said that the general consensus was that even though the points have dropped on them, they're probably still not good enough to put on the table just yet.
I don't think 2 of them.
what as a pair
No.
or just
I
as
think
as a
one
pair.
of them
As a
is a
pair,
great
yeah.
ship. I don't think 2 of them are.
Yeah.
Um,
And then, do you know the nice thing about that podcast? They mention Weekend Warlords more times than they mention the Sif Takers.
oh, I love it.
See, the thing about two
uh,
guesses is
Sorry, Mr.
Yeah.
Spurge. Dude, when you come up for the last tournament, I think it was I had Chewie and them 4 A-wings and there wasn't an upgrade on them, and
Yeah.
I had a brilliant day.
Yeah.
Upgrades don't necessarily equate to fun.
I had 4 upgrades on my list.
Yeah.
2 Fanaticals, 1 Prockets, and 1 Marksmanship. That was it.
I had all the upgrades on mine.
Yeah, I had,
Every upgrade
but that
game.
hand build was proper tanky.
The only thing Han didn't have was a missile. It's the only unused slot in the whole list.
Yeah.
every other slot.
And do you know what, right?
was
Even
used.
if you roll double blanks on those Lando rolls,
mate, it was
right?
so good.
And I chose,
Yeah.
I'm not going to choose an evade because you're going to get to re-roll.
Yeah,
You know, if I'm not going to choose a focus
Yeah.
because I'm going to get hit.
yeah.
So what am I going to do?
Give me one or the other.
Yeah.
It's so
And
good.
then strip it with hot shot gunner.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah, sorry, what were you gonna say about
The
Desses?
thing about 2 Desses is that whilst we're saying stuff about buying red dice over upgrades,
Yeah.
la la la, it's also not necessarily about having more is good.
Yeah.
It's about how you apply those red dice.
Oh, I agree with you completely. And if you
those
looked
2
at
Desses
Tim's opening,
are
was
going to struggle to
Yeah.
apply their red dice in the right place at the right time.
yeah, and like I said, Tim's opening and Dave's setup. Tim's opening was perfect. He just bullied the table and went, "You have no options. I've removed all your options. It really doesn't matter where you go, whatever you do. I'm going to limit the impact of intimidation because you're going to get it on one little ship. Don't care. Kill it. Please kill it. Please kill it so I can double stress you
Yeah.
because the double stress means you're dead.
Yeah.
Period. So
Yeah, it's a death range saying I flew Oiken Psi for a bit, but it really was a slog every game.
yeah,
I can imagine, you know. I mean,
That's a shuttle in it, Si.
it's the Lambda.
Yeah.
So I mentioned
Yeah,
to
that's
Rasta
a-
before we were setting up about I was looking forward to flying my first order list because the scum lists that seem to be powerful, unless you take Fenrir out of the equation, they're quite cumbersome. They're quite slow. You know, you've got your Forlon, which is quite slow. You've got you know, like even the Skurg is quite a slow ship.
So-
plodders, and they're not fun.
sorry, Bonsai. If you're asking me that, no, dude, it's Resistance Chewie naked and 4 PS1 naked
Yeah,
A-wings.
that was
It's
a great list.
exactly 200 points.
But no homing missiles on them. That's a reference to the previous one where Ryan was going mental about homing missiles.
Why?
Apparently, homing missiles are the bomb.
They're not.
Five-
At all.
they're
They're 5
5
points.
points.
Yeah,
They
but-
weren't the bomb at 3
yeah, but
points.
it's 4 dice.
But you'd never roll 4 dice.
Yeah, but it's 4 dice. This was Ryan's argument. Ryan was being a bit.
But no one ever lets you roll 4 dice.
He was being a bit facetious.
I had homing missiles on 4 A-wings, and I must have played 20 games,
There-
and I must
yeah.
have shot 3 homing missiles.
There was a giggle argument going on between Tim and Ryan. Basically, Ryan was swearing blind that homing missiles are the next big thing, and Tim obviously saying no, they're not.
There is value in homing
Yeah,
missiles
no,
on a swarm.
I totally agree with you. Makes it harder to art dodge, but the minute you start chucking in lots of shit for lots of red dice, you start to slow down. That was the thing I found with the A-wings. The A-wings were really fast. I mean, these ties will be quite quick, but any other kind of swarm list, you start to really slow
Yeah.
the list down.
Yeah. And I
And
really,
then it actually becomes quite easy to arc dodge
Yeah.
if you've got the right ship to be doing it with.
yeah.
Or you've got a ship which
No,
doesn't,
those-
doesn't care for hard.
I ran the 4 characters in a PS1 A-wing, and that was the joy of them. It was nothing other than the fact that I could outspeed my opponents. I dictated where it all happened because I was just so much quicker than them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just like, "Phoop."
Yeah.
And I think there is a lot of speed lacking in a lot of the lists out there at the moment, and speed's something that's being underestimated as a kind of usable tool in X-Wing. Everyone's going, well, red dice, green dice, upgrades. Actually, the dials and how fast they go, and because there's a lot of ploddy lists that do really well, and I actually found a really good way to counter the ploddy list is having, when I ran Vader Rexler, and I'd go into those scum swarms, just run in, hurt something, and go,
Yeah.
you can't catch me. There's nothing you can do now. And they'd be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what, you're not coming back? No, I've got my points, I'm gone. And try and catch me, please.
So what did you fly at UKTC? It was what did Tim fly at UKTC?
Tim flew a 7-man TIE swarm.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Tim's really clinical with lists like that.
Yeah.
And he'll do really, really well.
Yeah.
Whereas I flew the Zeds and Luke, and I was literally just tabling people with Luke.
Yeah.
Because Luke was doing what I'd like. Fast, arc dodging,
Yeah.
just mess your head up
Yeah.
stuff. Tim did that, and Sim had the janky scum hand list.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tim's clinical with ships like that. That initial approach with that diagonal attack with those 2 interceptors and that flank being denied by that force coming up on the outside edge,
Yeah.
it just stopped half the table. And he went, you've set up, you kind of give him it on setup.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He would have been better off opposite side of the table.
Well, especially with that rocket 2 and 2.
He
in
would have
that
been
top
much
right-hand
better
corner.
at the opposite side
Yeah.
of the table.
Yeah, because he can choose the engagement better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, Tim's just put the death knell in.
Listen, dude, don't
The bells are
underestimate
tolling.
those A-wings, brother. Those A-wings are insane. It's over, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah. Those A-wings are insane, Mr. Spurgeon. They are, in my opinion,
Rebel
the
A's or
best.
Resistance
The
A's?
Resistance
Resistance
A-wings
A's.
with the rear
Yeah,
arc.
they're great.
They are the best generic chassis in the game, as far as I'm concerned. For 32 points, a naked PS1 of those, it's just incredible.
Yeah.
And then when you start getting into the characters, and the characters are like 2 points more, 3 points more, they're nothing much. A little EPT, just insane. I've never, for a 5-man kind of like AC swarm, they kept their guns on so much with that rear arc.
What are you?
Hello!
So we're joined now by Tim and Dave and the door slammer
And the mic drop Dave.
and the mic drop Dave Amos. Dave mic drop Amos. We like it. So let's transition that off because you don't want to just see that, do you? Nah. Let's go.
It's not massively exciting. No.
So. Yeah.
Thoughts, feelings, comments.
Your setup was bad. That's where I think you lost the game. If you would have set in the opposite side of the table, I think you would have had a better outcome than where you set. Because he shut off. He could shut, because of the way those interceptors were set. He shut off half the table turn one to you. He gave you no option, and you had too many guns on you. I think that's where you lost. Because I actually was like, no, Dave can win this totally. And I've seen Dave fly decimators. Dave will like range it. He'll pick one off, and if he can take 2 out at range without any big damage, it's Dave's game, and there's nothing Tim can do about it. And when you come up here, I thought you turn them both at least. And when you come up here, it was like, okay, is Dave going to go for the joust? This is weird. And then you didn't. And I don't think it would have worked anyway. I just think that Tim set up with the tyres and the shuttle, and then that diagonal approach in, he just dominated the table. He just shut off so many options for you, I think, on that initial turn one, that it was pretty much over. And then when you took that batter in for no return damage.
The second
Your
round
dice
combat
were-
was stupid.
Like your first
It's
set
like
of dice
four
were all
dice.
blanks, right? Your
It's like
first,
four
yeah, I know they
dice
were.
that are
And I was like, oh, that's it. If Dave takes big numbers, and when you lost all your shields and took a crit and a damage, it was like, well, that's it.
Well, you rolled 2 lots of 4 straight out.
I did, yeah, I did.
And Tim's position on that second turn was so good that he'd left each one of his ships in positions where you were only ever going to be able to bump one, but every other one was shooting at you. That was the problem with Oiken. Oiken was like doomed. It was such a shame. They need the engine. We were saying they need. If they had the engine, you'd be in such a better place with them.
I am missing a boost.
Yeah, boost is massive.
Well, so what did
Even if
you?
it was red boost, I'd still take it.
Of course you would.
Yeah. So what did you think, Dave? How did? Because I know
One
that's-
decimator is worth playing, and I'll probably. Me and Tim just spoke about it, and
Yeah.
I'll probably play Whisper with Chirpy, and I'll put
Yeah,
Fifth Brother.
we,
I was
we
saying-
spoke about that as well. We said that
How
2
good you are with
decimators
Chirpy.
probably not
Chirpy and the ace.
good enough just yet. But
Remember
one
how
decimator
hard a
and
game we
another.
had when you had that list
Yeah.
the other week?
They've got potential to be. They have got
The-
potential to be really good. I mean,
Yeah.
the stuff
The
they're
hot
missing
shotgun,
is
the hot
cover.
shotgun of Vader is hi Ben. The hot shotgun of Vader works really really well
Get the
because
shot.
it's like
Is that
you either spend your focus to Vader, or
that one.
Yeah, spend your focus. To
spend your focus
take
to Vader,
Yeah.
or I'm going to spend. I'm going to be taking
Yeah,
it on
well,
the hot shot.
we discussed that as well because Rashta identified that right at the beginning as quite a lethal combo.
Yeah.
And I even suggested, well, I think Dave may be in a position where he's going to try and Vader some damage into something and shoot something else.
Yeah,
Just to try and
potentially.
kind of spread
I,
that damage
I,
a
need,
little bit.
I needed Sight to not the lander to die quickly because of
because of Sloan.
Sloan on there because
Yeah.
taking 2 stress.
So quickly, good night, Captain Rex. Thanks for watching.
Happy
we'll see you
birthday,
over the
Captain
weekend.
Rex.
Happy birthday!
And quickly, before we get too far up, Paul Bridge, not ignoring you. I don't think you need optics on A-wings. So here's a quick rundown. Lulu, he takes trick shot, heroic. Talizan takes trick shot and predator, marksmanship, anything that works off his bullseye arc. Greer takes trick shot, crack shot maybe. And Zari takes intimidation, trick shot. You don't need missiles on the A-wings. And you don't need
Only if he dresses
techs.
up like an
It's
ice
too many
hockey
points.
I was
Yeah,
I was
okay,
seeing
cool.
it as more as like the HK droid.
Oh, you reckon?
Yeah,
I'm,
HK-47.
I'm seeing him in ice hockey gear.
Yeah, meat bag.
Yeah. So yeah, Ben's saying, do I have permission to beat Tim down? That's what a good enforcer does.
But
Is he a enforcer?
do you know what? In order to
I
beat,
look after myself.
Hold on, guys.
in order to beat Tim down, Ben, you got to get your dad to let you drive your car over first, though, haven't you?
Oh man, mate.
That was hard.
That was a burn.
And yeah, no, Mr. Anded, prime thrusters on Lulo is completely and utterly unnecessary. 41 point Lulo is all you need to spend on Lulo.
Yeah, I agree.
No heroic on anything.
Only on Lulo. Lulo has heroic. Everyone has trick shot. And then your other EPTs, and you should put 2 on each, should be dependent on the character. So like I said, Tally, something that works off the bullseye, because that's what Tally does. Greer, anything you want. I like crack shot. And Zari, I use intimidation on Zari because I can bump, I can have my actions, and I probably spin my arc and shoot at the guy that's just flown over me as well.
Yeah.
But I don't think you need to spend all the points on the tech slots on the A-Wings. They're too good, guys. Get them out there and fly. You know, have like strafing runs. Stop getting into a 1.0 mindset where you need to pick a target and only kill it. Fly past something, put 2 damage on it and vanish. Come back, shoot something else, 2 damage, gone. And just like hornets and just watch your opponent pull his hair out where he can't. Where's the damage one? Other side of the table, mate. What?
Yeah.
You got to shoot at that one now. Hold on a minute. How's he just rolled 5 dice? Well, because he's range 1 and he's stressed and I got trick shot. What? Yeah. So, honestly, you catch people out. Just trust me, the chassis is amazing. The power of those ships is the dial and that little arc. That rear arc is insanity. Yeah. Greer's insane.
Yeah.
3 actions a turn.
Yeah.
I'm going to move. I'm going to focus. I'm going to free rotate my arc and I'm going to boost.
Yep.
Just brilliant.
Yeah.
So good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Tim.
One thing I do like about the decimators, about the double decimator list, is so people were playing double decimators kind of back when they first came out, really, and they didn't take engine on Oiken. I mean, they're missing Gunner and the old
I remember.
Predator.
Yeah.
So they're missing the Gunner and the old Predator, but what they have got going for them now is that, so with their hull, shields and reinforce, they take 10 focus 3 dice attacks to kill.
Yes, I really. That's what we were saying. If they had engine on top of it, they'd just be just so stupid.
Yeah. But I think 2 built as tankily as you can make them could have potential to be a good list. The problem is their offense is the damage they're putting out. With only 2 shots at 3 dice, you know, you're going to have a hard time.
Yeah, they could benefit from some kind of
stuff.
veteran gunner or something like that, couldn't they?
Like the old gunner card, like Bosk is now in 2.0. But yeah, so if you have a decimator with something else,
So like
that's just
the veteran
they're gonna be
turret
hard to
gunner
kill.
on a bow tie arc. As much as on paper it kind of like you go, oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, it's not great.
When if you're going to ever put yourself in a position where you got ships both sides here, you've done something wrong with that ship.
Yep.
You're in trouble.
Or your opponent's
works.
flown
If
over
you notice the way I used Han
Like they've
in
flown
our
over
game,
your base.
Han only ever had ships to one side of it. Ever.
Yeah.
I was never worried about this side, that side,
If you're
whatever.
going to fly, if you know people are going to fly over you, you might as well just take bombs. Rather than take a bow tie. Rather than take a
but I mean,
effect.
No,
it's out of your. It's out
Yeah,
of
it's,
your.
it's who can take bombs. Though.
The-
I mean, the
the
type of ships we're
arcs-
talking about can't even
That's
take
the-
them.
Desi's still
The
taking.
turret
Desi's
arcs
taking
are
bombs.
better if you've just got a single. You know,
Yes.
so you don't have. So you've always got that.
No,
front
look,
arc.
I ultimately think the list only falls down on the fact that you got 2 and they don't have an engine upgrade. I loved the Vader Hotshot co-pilot.
Yeah, it's really
That is a bloody scary combo.
It is.
That is basically, especially against Tim's list, because I
Yeah.
said he's going to rock up and he's going to go, well, you either lose your token or lose your token and take a damage.
Yeah.
Which one do you want?
Yeah.
Ultimately, they're going to amount to the same thing. So really
Yeah.
clever.
Yeah.
I think you'd be much better off with Oiken as a support and not Oiken, with Chirpy as the support and an Ace.
Yeah.
Because then you're going to mess people's heads up where they're like, the Ace is too much of a threat.
Yeah.
I've got to deal with it, and that's when Chirpy's going to go to Tan and really start hurting.
He's building a list now.
Yeah, it's got to be a PS5 ace. It can't be a PS6 ace because the hotshot part.
Yeah, no,
doesn't
I
work
agree.
properly.
Yeah,
Same with
yeah.
Han and Wedge.
Yeah.
You know, it works really well.
Yeah.
Certainly, if I was looking at Lando, it wouldn't be Wedge with him; it'd be Luke, because I want that synergy with Hotshot
Well, the other list I've got is Han with Hotshot and 4 Zeds.
Oh.
So because that 3 dice gun from Han can do damage.
Yeah, but
But
you're
actually-
still looking at
but if you're
extended
just looking at
lists.
just
I've
get-
been trying my
yeah,
best to
yeah,
stick with
But if you can get
hyperspace.
if you can get arc on the target that the 4 Zeds are shooting at, you know,
Oh, I
they're
totally
gonna
agree
do
with
damage if they strip it, if he strips the focus.
Do you know what I found with that list that I was playing? It's incredible what Hotshot does for the damage output.
It's really good.
It's insane.
And defense, because you shoot first.
Yeah,
So you take their
whoever, yeah.
So you take their offensive
Yeah.
focus token off them as well.
Yeah.
And I even got a lot of the times to the point where the opponent just stops taking those tokens, and I'm
Yeah.
like, well, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine because it means I'm going to hurt you as well as
Yeah,
strip
yeah,
your
yeah.
token.
Yeah.
So I know you got the target lock, but
Yep.
the Falcon was very defensive. But I think purely the double decimators fall down with no engine. But as you said, it just doesn't fit into what the ship is. I
No.
think you're right.
No.
The reinforce was enough.
Yeah, it should. I mean, if you look at it in terms of fluff, I don't know, as a player, I'm not talking about fluff as mental as that is. You know, it is designed as a patrol craft.
Yeah, I agree
It's
with you.
not. It's not an interdict. It's not a
Yeah.
gun
No,
runner. It's not anything
no.
like that. It's a chonky thing
I
which
agree
people
with
fly
you.
around.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you want to do it fluffy, then you'd have a nice, stiff, tanky decimator
Yeah.
with a swarm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That's you know that's what a decimator should be.
Oh, awesome,
So,
Nathan.
Yeah.
So I won't ask you what your list is, but what faction are you flying, Nathan?
So Nathan, just for those that can't see the chat, Nathan's looking forward to his first Saturday with the Warlords this weekend, and we are looking forward to having you, son.
That'll be awesome.
It's-
So,
do
oh,
you know
he's
what?
going
We've
to
had
lose his
so-
Warlord's virginity. It's
We've had
awesome.
so many new players coming over the last few months.
There ain't no one in the room that's any good. There's a little girl, she's all right, but everyone else is rubbish. Hardly anyone's got
What,
any.
Tanya?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tanya.
Yeah. Ashley's playing. Yeah. She's all right.
Yeah, she's
pretty
doing a
good.
job.
So yeah. So Nathan, you know, come back to us. What faction are you flying, dude?
And is it the faction that is the faction you most love, or is it a choice purely because of competitiveness?
Yeah.
And that's okay. Loved my first time up.
That was
last
Phil?
time. Yeah, Phil was awesome, man. We got our game in at last. It was wicked. Bless his little cotton socks.
Scum, always the bobber. I'm eyeing up the wood. Mrs. Spurgeon's eyeing up the wooden spoon.
Not if I get there first. It is my
Probably-
birthday.
Dude, probably bring one with you because we haven't got one. You know, we haven't got a wooden spoon.
We used to.
The
We
wooden
did, we?
spoon prize
Yeah,
is
we
normally
used to have
amazing.
The
though.
wooden.
We used to have actual wooden spoons with weekend warlords printed on them.
Yeah. Oh really?
Yeah,
Oh, right.
a long time ago.
I was not aware of this.
We actually did hand out a couple of that genuine wooden
Always the
spoons.
bob up. Oh, cool, man. It's cool. So,
Potentially go with another
there I go.
faction,
Actually,
go for one
Nathan, this is
96,
quite interesting. So, if it's always the bobber, and Bobber's been one of the most heavily affected ships by
Yep.
the points changes,
Yep.
how have you found the points change to have changed your list? Has it been a massive change? Have you had to completely rethink it?
Whisper doesn't
Or
like moving before thing.
have you found it not to be much of a speed bump at all, and it hasn't really affected how you build your bobber?
That's a good question.
Because I
It's not
never
like they're gonna be blocking.
really, I had 1 or 2 fun games with him, but I never really put him seriously on the table. Bit gutted now, got to be honest.
Yeah. Well,
So
Tim and I talked about this just after the points dropped, and it was, you know, strip it back down to literally just Marauder, Handgunner, and Bobber.
It's really expensive.
It's 100
It's only
and,
104.
106 points, and I still think, and we said this at the time
Oh,
anyway,
yeah,
I
it's
still
got
think
Whisper
it's,
build at the bottom.
it's actually some value still in that.
yeah,
Oh
it's
no!
really
Look,
good.
I
not
totally
a
do.
bad
But
ship
when you
anymore, no.
look
It's
at
not- they've not
when you look at
made
like
it
the
bad.
Bobber Guri lists, which had
Yes.
everything
That's what
imaginable
stuff
on
is.
Bobber,
Yeah.
everything imaginable on Guri, and
Yep.
had a 17, 18 point bid.
Yep.
It was like that's
Yep.
not right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so cool. You can still have your stuff, but you
Yep.
ain't got a guaranteed unmoving second, so now it's going to be a bit harder.
Yep.
Because that list was, and certainly Bobber fully tooled was nothing points.
Oh, so sorry, that's Paul. My Bobber list has taken the hit and just cut the quad jumper. So I'm
So
guessing
you've lost
he
the
was
whole
flying-
ship though.
Yeah.
He's had to lose a whole ship.
Yeah.
Quad Seabuff.
Han is still okay at the price. Marauder is still very good at 6 points. I agree. You know, but going back to Paul. Paul was obviously flying 2 quads, Palob and Bobber.
Okay. Yep.
So Jeff Ball was flying that list,
Yeah.
and Nerf Herder.
Oh.
The Marduk Open.
Yeah.
Yeah, afterburners. is-
Afterburners on Whisper.
So yeah, so it's all good. It's all good.
the
That would be
Marduk
Simeon's
Open list.
recommendation
Yeah,
at that
Marduk
point.
See, I
But
can't
other
think
than
of
that,
any,
everything you've built Whisper is Simeon's new Whisper.
Go on. Sorry.
I can't think of any one situation where I've looked at a points change and gone, that's wrong.
Yeah.
You know when you're shame.
What about you? Actually, it's an interesting point.
Yeah,
'Cause
I agree with
I
those
saw
things.
the Rasta and Ash where the points dropped.
Yeah.
And that was really cool. I think there was such a buzz about
Oh,
it.
it was
amazing.
almost too much.
Yeah. So
It was such a long list as well. We literally
Yeah.
just read it.
What are
There
your
wasn't enough time to
No,
go
you
over
can't process it.
everything.
What are your feelings? What Jag was just saying about. He's just looked at them and thought, do you know what? There's actually nothing there that I disagree
maybe
with
on that.
so much.
Uh,
What about you? What do you feel?
I think Supernatural should have taken a more incremental increase. However, I've had this discussion with someone, and I think we've all kind of theory crafted that the reason why it took such a big jump at once was because of the imminent release of these Jedi.
Yeah.
And clearly they've play tested it and gone, oh my days, if we don't put Supernatural up to this point, they are going to be able to run 2 5s and a 6 with Super, and no one's ever going to get a shot, and
Yeah.
it's going to be game over apart from we're going to have a single list
Anakin,
meta.
Obi,
Yeah, that's
and-
it.
Yeah.
So
And
I
they're all
think
gonna be
Supernatural took a bit of a bump. However, I ain't got a problem with it because
I mean, this is it. That's what I was saying. It's,
I could
it's
table-
taken a massive jump, yeah, but I still don't look at it and go,
No.
that's unfair.
I love what they did with Vader. It was really clever, and now
Oh,
they
Vader Crew.
Well, it wasn't so much. You know what? Vader Crew wasn't realistically the problem. The problem was that Vader Crew just appeared on Whisper, and
It was the ship
and
you put it on.
Whisper's ability to continually apply Vader's ability every turn, regardless. That was the real problem, and then removing
Because-
that crew slot actually
And,
did the
yeah.
job without over penalising Vader as a crew
well, this is it.
on
because,
something that's quite
because
limited.
if you'd made Vader like 32 points, like some people were talking about,
Yeah.
it's like, well, it's not worth 32 points on a Desi. It's not worth 32 points on a
No,
Shell.
I think they got
No.
it
It's not
right.
worth 32 points on a Reaper.
I so far I'm a bit. I tell you what, there's a couple of things that have jumped out that I'm more shocked about. Why didn't you do something to the Sykes to make them playable? Drop the points a bit.
Yeah.
They didn't touch the Sykes. There's
They
more.
got like a point off them or
Yeah,
something.
I mean, it was just stupid
pathetic.
stuff.
It
Stuff
was
like that.
pathetic,
I was
yeah.
more in. So like the point drop on the Falcon has brought the Falcon back. There'll be a few other point drops which will start letting you push a few ships in that weren't seeing any play. I would have liked to have seen. I would have liked to have seen them sit back and go, Jesus Christ, there's been like how many tournaments since we released 2.0 and like 3 people have run a Syke? Let's get Sykes used. Let's get Talonbane on the table a bit more. Let's make the Kiraxes just a touch. They didn't need much, but look, in general, I think they did a bloody good job.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to a hyperspace format now with those points changes and with those slight alterations. Hyperspace with the ships that are legal. By the time we get to that point where we're looking at worlds or that, there will be enough ships and enough stuff released in those 7 factions where there be balance between themselves.
Yeah.
I just think
Whereas
imps
if
are in
you
a
try
real
to
bad place
open-
for hyperspace.
Imps are going to what?
In a bad space.
No,
for
they're not.
hyperspace.
Look at what he's running.
It's
I
not
know he's
high-
got
it's not-
Sloan.
it's not high
Oh, I
space.
know he's got
Yeah.
Sloan, but like swarms are legit now.
Yeah.
Vader
Yeah,
and a
yeah, yeah.
crew of
Seven
TIE
ties,
fighters,
6 ties,
7
of course.
ties, 6 ties.
Five strikers and Wampa. That's pretty cool.
Kev ran yesterday.
Yeah,
Kev ran the
5
other week. He
interceptors.
ran just a quick
Not in high
put
space.
together. It was Vader,
no, high
Pure
space, right.
Sabak,
Yeah, of course.
a TIE striker, and a Reaper that did something. So he had 4 pretty bloody tasty ships, and they weren't easy to hit. And there was Vader in there with this, that, and the other, and it was like, poor.
I
This.
think Vader Crew's hot.
Yeah, it is. You can have Vader,
Yeah.
you can have Vader Vermeil and named.
I think when you look at imps, when you look at
Vader.
imps,
Shit, yes.
no Vader crew on Vermeil.
when you look at hyperspace imps and put it at the extended format, yeah, they're really bad. But when you just take hyperspace imps and put it with hyperspace rebs and hyperspace scum and hyperspace everything else,
Yep.
there's actually a pretty good parity between stuff. And I think
Yep.
we'll start to see a little bit more variance
And-
in what people are flying, rather than what we've seen, which
Yep.
is triple scum lists
Yep.
Yeah.
and the Punishers.
Yep.
Basically, some sort
Yeah,
of
yeah.
variance of Punisher aces, whatever.
Yep.
It's been the same sort of meta for 6 months. Now, hopefully, we'll see the Falcons back and we'll see X-wings. It won't just be 3 X-wings with proton torpedoes anymore. Alpha striking everyone off the board at PS7. You'll have to fly.
Yeah.
You'll have to think about your engage. You'll have to know when to engage.
Yep. And I think
I'm really
I
looking
think that's the
forward to
key
it.
difference. I think that's what's changed with the points, but also what's changed what you're saying in hyperspace. Because Bobber exists,
But they
yeah,
toned him back.
they have,
Whereas
yeah.
before, Scum had such a big
Yeah.
jump.
I agree, but the thing is, like Bobber versus 7 ties.
Well, he's been in a
and
bad
he
place.
can only bring like a Fen. He can only bring Fen and maybe a support ship. So that matchup against 7 ties.
Actually, if you take
is
Bobber with a
really
few toys, you
interesting.
can just take Fed.
Well, yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
if you tool
beauty.
your bobber up. Yeah, I like it. So you're going to struggle because then the game becomes about positioning.
Yep.
It doesn't become about, it becomes about, like you said, shutting off lanes.
I've not
blocking,
only got a fully tooled bobber and a fully
yeah.
tooled fen, I've also got Seavor. Well, no, you haven't anymore.
No.
So now I can actually concentrate
Yep.
on one of your threats.
Yep.
So, and then you ain't got all the toys. So I'm actually think hyperspace is going to be a little bit more fun than I would have thought originally before these points changes
It's
happened.
harder. It's a lot harder, and I think that's what puts some people off is that the game is about where do you put your ships, where are your arcs facing.
Oh, happy
what
days!
action do you take? And
Rise-
it's hard.
rise to the challenge.
That
Well,
is
yeah,
really
it's-
hard.
it's
Yeah,
like-
rise to the challenge.
Like I was
because
saying
it's
earlier,
fun.
there's
It's so much fun.
Like I was
figuring
saying earlier,
this stuff
there's
out.
less point and click lists.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
a
that's
good
the
thing.
beauty
You got
of
to
it.
work
That is a
for it.
very good
Yeah, it's
thing.
the beauty of it.
Cool.
Whereas those meta lists we were just talking about, like the Punishers, even the Scum, were just like, we'll move really slowly, we'll have a big wide spread of arcs, and basically if you fall in front of that, you're in a lot of trouble.
That's boring.
Exactly.
Boring.
That's like why I was banging on about those A-Wings, because it was like, well, I haven't really got any tricks. I am just going to leverage my speed and manoeuvrability against your lack of. And now
Yeah,
we're going to
fair.
see a lot of those stuttery, boring alpha lists vanish, and it's actually going to be, nope, this is really important. Where the engagement happens, my position, and ultimately where I'm going to go after the engagement happens, which is really exciting.
So a couple of questions while you've been chatting. We're going to have to wrap it up, I'm afraid, guys.
cool.
Warlords vet tournaments are going to be extended or hyperspace as we go on. I think
Yeah,
that's,
I
what do we
would
think?
I would like to speak to Ash and John and certainly say to them that maybe it would be interesting that maybe the Saturday, and I'm not saying every month, but maybe every other month, we just did a Saturday that was hyperspace format, just to change it up a little bit,
Yeah.
or a Sun, whatever.
Yeah,
But one of
Yeah,
those
you could-
days,
You could, I mean, again, this is not saying that this is what is going to happen, but you could even do Saturdays or hyperspace, Sundays extended. And I
or
think that would be
Sundays
fine.
extended, or Saturdays extended, Sundays hyperspace. We could
Yeah,
swap it
whichever
up,
way.
and you could do that with the heading on each event: Sunday extended, Saturday hyperspace, and just to give people that little bit of a change, because I enjoyed. Do
Practice as
you
well.
remember that evacuation of Dakar thing we
Yeah,
did? That
yeah.
was a lot of fun. I didn't enjoy Yavin as much because it was such a small pool.
Who won that one?
You did.
Evacuation of Takar.
Was it me? It was me.
Yeah, I think it was
me.
you, wasn't it?
Wow.
Yeah, you did that.
There you go. It's the small victories.
Oh, humility.
Yeah.
We're to the last.
You know
thing.
what? It's all
Awesome.
about me. That one.
It was.
I wasn't
no,
trying.
it's cool.
So we'll see Steve. At
I
the,
wasn't trying.
See Steve at the at the.
I just came
I
to
gave
it,
it to you. It's all right.
That means we'll see you. At
I'll
the
let you
Veterans
have one.
tournament
Oh,
in
yeah,
October,
that
doesn't
got me a
it?
veterans
It does. It
coin.
means I get
In fact,
it does.
you even asked Ash if I could have a veterans coin for that. You did, to be fair. But alas, no. Alas, no.
How unreasonable.
Right, so thanks for that, guys. It was a really interesting discussion.
Thank you.
So we're going to have to wrap it up. So a bit of housekeeping before we do. So what we normally do is, if you aren't subscribed to us on Twitch or YouTube, please do that. It's dead easy. Prime subscriptions give us money. Thank you to everyone that's cheered in the chat room. Ulfric, X-Wing Tavern Wars, and Saiway Saris, which is obviously Laszlo.
Our lovely Hungarian,
Yeah.
soon-to-be weekend warlord.
Oh, there you go.
It's just a matter of time, Laszlo. If I could rustle up a big event so I could invite you, I would.
There you go, another 100 from X-Wing Tavern Wars.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Tavern
we
Wars.
really appreciate your support. There are still a couple of tickets left for Saturday and even less left for Sunday. So check out the Weekend Warlords Facebook page. Events are up until May/June. There will be more coming up in the next week
Yep.
to go right towards the end of the Veterans Tournament
Which
season.
is October.
Um,
So you'll be able to plan any travel or
Yeah.
hotels well in advance.
That's
now.
why John and
That's why we're
the
looking
guys
to
do
do
it.
it, yeah.
And also, we have a Wave 2 tournament on the 23rd of February.
Do we?
Yeah.
No one tells me
It's
nothing.
the Wave Championship
Oh,
Wave
I'm
Championship.
coming.
on the 23rd. I'm going to see if I can get a ticket now.
Yeah.
It's the constructive cards, isn't it?
Oh, I
Yeah.
don't care what
No,
it is.
no,
I'm
no,
coming.
no,
I
no,
get to
it's
play
a
X-Wing.
Wave.
It's a Wave. It's
So,
it's what
so
store
it'll be extended format.
Right.
they do a store championship.
So yeah, and it's a proper Wave kit, Wave sort of prize support kit to do it. So that's really cool. We're doing that on the 23rd of February.
I'll be up for that.
There's a cap of 32 players, so we're looking at maybe that's selling out.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
Um,
Cabin with the missus.
And Do you know what? So I mean, that's pretty much. Have I forgotten anything?
YouTube and Twitch.
Yep.
Subscribe and do all your clicky
Oh,
clicks.
while you're here, when's the next Restaurant Ash?
The next Restaurant Ash is on Monday.
And you're giving away.
I can't remember. What
You're giving away the original Fenral.
Yes,
Dial
that's
squad
right.
that you
And it's all fully paid. It's a big old prize that.
And it's to Twitch subscribers
It
only,
is to Twitch subscribers.
which we have a list of who they are.
Amazing.
I am one of them.
Awesome.
He says.
I am one of them. Yes,
Hint,
I
hint.
actually signed up last month, so that was all
Do
good.
you know what? He could well. The first ever draw we ever had on bloody Rasta and Ash was Lee Dalton.
Oh, was it?
And then when it come to the painted chips, Lee won. And everyone would go, "Oh, you fixed it, he's your mate." And I really didn't. We really always genuinely. But like little Henry
Yeah.
Me's won like 6.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's like Henry. Oh, it's Henry. It's Vivek. It's Vivek. It's Henry. It's like that. So yeah.
So once again, thank you for tuning in to us on Tuesday Night Fly Casual. Thank you for watching my game and Rasta's game earlier today.
Yeah,
Well,
thank
that's
you.
really good. Oh yeah, forgot about Rasta Patreon.
Yeah,
Thank you
I
all for
was
it.
going to just jump in and let everyone know that I am a little bit behind with my.
Hold on,
There's
guys.
a whole store out there. There's 6 of us stood in the
I'm a little bit behind with like me launches and stuff because of just a huge change in my personal circumstances. However, those of you, there's only like 2 of you that ain't got all your Wave 1 dials yet. They'll all be in the post to you by Friday, anyone that hasn't had it. Ulfric, yours will be with me over the weekend, obviously, same with Jeff. And Wave 2 will be being released 1 week on Friday. They're all pretty much done now. I'm just finishing the last couple of paint jobs, getting a few photos. And Wave 2.5 will be a week after Wave 2. So in the next 3 weeks, you'll have 2 new waves of dials. So that will be First Order and Resistance. And then Wave 2.5 is like a character wave, which has got some great stuff. Sabine's there, R2D2, K2SO, to name 3 of the 5. So please stay tuned for that and keep supporting us. Support the Patreon because that goes a big way to supporting these streams, guys. All the money from Rasta Mace Painting Patreon is going to Weekend Warlords this year. All of it to keep this shop open. Please get out there. That's what all this money is going to keep these lights on.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you for tuning in.
So pre-order all your stuff from us if you wish.
Please.
weekendwarlords.co.uk/.
Wave 3 coming soon, guys.
And thank you just finally to James Finlayson, Tartan James, who has just subscribed
Thank you, James.
to us. So thank you, mate. We really appreciate it.
Can you remember
Yes.
Good
our,
evening, PJ.
random catchphrases that you made up last week?
What random catchphrases?
We were discussing having random catchphrases.
Oh no, I can't.
Can
What
I
was my
remember,
random
like,
catchphrase?
I only remember the one that I listened to on another one, which was like, "Where's my biscotti?" But it wasn't that. But I can't remember what it was.
Where's my biscotti?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
There you go. I would have paid you money if you'd have remembered it because I cannot remember.
What
it.
you can do is you can
Just thinking
subscribe
of some-
instead,
I'm just subscribing instead. Yes,
Yeah.
I could. Yeah, fair.
and then you can win the dial. You can win Ruster's
I don't-
dial and give it to me,
I don't
and that's all
listen to
good.
this dross.
Because it is my birthday the week after yours. Oh, actually, yeah, that's it. We forgot that.
What?
The tournament this weekend is your birthday
Oh
tournament.
yeah, but that's all right.
Come
Yeah,
and play
listen,
with us and let's have a party.
honestly, I need some hugs. So if you lot all want to come up and wrap a hug up, bring them up for me because Rasta's in the hug needing business. So, yeah,
As long as that hug looks like a bottle of Kraken.
no, a hug is all good. A hug is all good.
Cool. So that's it. We'll see you next Tuesday. In fact, I'll be back on Saturday to commentate on the tournament.
Yep.
And
And depending on numbers on the Sunday, if we have an odd number, I'll drop like I do on the Sundays, and I will commentate as well on the Sunday if we have an odd. I don't like making a buy. I've got my coin. As long as I get to play on my birthday, I'm cool.
Yeah, nice. So
So-
that's this Saturday. So this Saturday, this Sunday, 23rd, Fly Casual next Tuesday. There's loads of stuff going on at Weekend Warlords. Come up and see us soon, yeah?
One love, people. Love you all.
So good
Bye,
night.
internet.
Good night. Good
Good
night.
night.
Au revoir.
Bye bye. And that's it. We are out of here.